Good numbing, and welcome back to potentially the final main session of Atelier Ryza, session 12. Last time we took the fight all the way to the Felucia and took it down very easily because we have a Doom Hammer, before returning to base to start thinking about how we're going to make our power source. All we need to do is visit the bunker, and then Ryza seems pretty adamant she knows what she's gonna do. So that's the last one. You can see it's like hugging the bottom of the pen. So yeah, that's the last area to write a expedition log on, and then I think that's everything. So let us do that. Is that just my phone dipping? I have to keep an eye on that. I hope that's just my phone dipping. The weather is miserable outside, so it might affect things. I really hope it doesn't, but it is literally like lashing it down miserable outside. I'm gonna wait for a second to see if it's my phone. Or if it's my internet. Sorry guys, it's a necessary precaution before we get too far ahead on this. Well, I say that, how's it on your end? Is it randomly stuttering for you guys, or is it okay? Because if you guys can be my confirmation. If it's fine on your end, I'll just carry on. It's just it started stuttering for me on mine. I don't know if that's just my phone, so I use it for chat stuttering, or if it is actually the actual internet and the stream being a bit slow. It seems okay for now, so I'll just carry on. It was rocky at first, okay. Hopefully that'll stay clear up. Anywho, we're going to try and potentially finish the main game today. So I think that all that's left is like the epilogue bit of make the Crimson Stone and whatnot. But then after that, and we've seen our epilogue and ending, because there's two trophies tied to the ending. There's fixing the island, and then there's seeing everyone off. So there might be like an extended epilogue that we need to do with that. But after that, there's not one, not two, but 5 DLC episodes for us to tackle. One for Claudia, one for Len, one for Tao, one for both Lilla and Empol, and then the last one is a beach episode special. So finishing on like a beach shenanigan will probably be kind of fun. I am interested in the Claudia one though, because all the rest have like really fancy titles. Claudia says Atelier Claudia, and I'm like, that implies that she learns alchemy. I doubt it is. I don't think she learns alchemy, but we'll see. So how do I get it from where it is now to this? I'm sure you'll figure out the recipe soon enough. Why do you let others do all the work? Why not help me figure it out? You're an alchemist too, aren't you? I'm happy to discuss synthesis theory with you, but having you do the hard work makes my life easier. Yeah, no shit. That's so not fair. Once this synthesis is complete, you won't need us around anymore. What did you say? Nothing. More hints that after this is over, people are going to go their separate ways. Anyway, I think I'm starting to understand. If you use extra powerful materials here, feel free to experiment with whatever ideas you can come up with. Right, I guess I should actually get to work. I'll go gather a few materials to get started. Synthesize the red stone of at least a quality of 120. This ain't quite bite out loud, Empol. And since I think this will be like the last proper Ryza stream, I decided to just put her in a default. If I end up guessing wrong, my punishment will be I'll put her in the bikini next stream. But we should finish it today. Oh jeez, look at all this. No, insufficient. Wait, how's that a punishment? Yeah, because I don't like, it's just a me thing. I don't like putting characters in their bikinis unless it genuinely makes sense. Like, example, like, I didn't mind doing it in Blue Reflection when I did the beach episode, because the whole point of it is they go there for a sun trip, whatnot. I don't like just putting the characters in bikini. I kind of roll my eyes at it most of the time. So it'd be a punishment for me, a reward for you guys. So it's the perfect setup, really. I have, fictional characters or not, I have enough respect for them that I don't want to immediately sexualize them because of cheeky DLC. If it's part of their character trope, that's, or whatever, that's separate. But if it's just them, especially because, yes, they're all 18 at least, but it'd still feel weird to me being a 23-year-old, you know? It'll be... like, for me personally, and it's not judging or bumping anyone, just for me personally, it's like, nah. Maybe in Ryza 2, because she'll be 21, she'll be closer to my age. We'll see. Anyway, okay, done. Look at how powerful it is just by touching it. I think this might just work as a power source for the island. Let's give it a shot. Past the present. Then return to the bunker to test it out. Oh, I should see if I can get the expedition log finished before we go, in case it does, like, lead into a series of cutscenes wrapping everything up. Bum, bum. Oh, I just got a trophy, so yeah, it did just finish it. No, that's the bunker. Where's the underworld? There's lots of homes here, but no people. It must have had an active, bustling place at one point, though. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I can sense a kind of mana presence in this area. It's like some sort of mysterious force. I wonder exactly it is. I would think this, but rules. Sexualize, more of a consumer in mentality. But for me, like, because it's ultimately fictional characters, it's not that I'm overly fussed. It's just I always have, like, and I always bring it up, two principles when it comes to anything fan servicey or sexual with characters. If it's going to negatively affect the character, or it doesn't make any sense, I don't want to see it. If it's just harmless fun, and it doesn't affect the character in any way, or it makes sense to the story, or something like that, then sure, do what you want. But if it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and it's going to lead to a worser, like, characterization of them, then I'd rather not. And obviously, like, it's very case-by-case basis, because it's always up to, you know, you personally, whether you think it impacts or affects a character or not, or whether or not you think it's value to the story or not. But that's just for me. Anyway, which is, like I said, the only reason why I actually put them in, like, more beachy wear in Blue Reflection, because it made sense without affecting any of the characters for the beach episode to let them dress the part. I imagine Ryza would just wear them for confidence reasons. Yeah, I mean, the only kind of, like, scene that talks about her clothing is that if you wear the costume that's more of, like, a fancier dress that makes her look kind of similar-ish to Claudia, all the group comment that they never see Ryza wearing anything girly. They always see her wearing something really casual or boyish. And, like, that's, like, the only thing. And it embarrasses Ryza, because she's like, I can be girly too. And all of them are like, alright. So it makes it really uneasy. I hope we can find a way to lift the darkness covering it someday. I might be able to help with that. I wonder if Ryza 2 or 3 will, like, be about Half-Life trying to cleanse the underworld and make it back to the other world it actually once was. The boy played Sophie in a bikini because it highlighted the elder sister aura. Maybe in Lydian Suli. Maybe in Lydian Suli. Because she's like 20, what is it? It's 26 we established? Because there's a 5-year gap between Sophie 1 and Furious, and another 5-year gap between Furious and Lydian Zuli. But in Sophie 1, nah. Sophie 1, nah. She's too much of a little bean that I just want to protect. She hasn't got that big sis energy yet. I say, even in Furious, she kind of doesn't have that like big sis energy completely yet. She's still just kind of like a bean. She's just a bean that helps people out. Is in Lydian Suli, where she is like the old guard, who's got a lot more maturity in her, even if she gets like shit-faced drunk at one point. Ooh, Sophie 2. Yeah, I guess, because she is like, what, like 20, 21-ish by then? Like, she has grown, she has got more independence, like, there is a lot of moments in Sophie 2 where she kind of, like, makes her own decision without having to rely on other people. compared to Sophie 1. No, she has got that kind of like more mature vibe going on. She's well, no, not entirely there. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. She's not mature, but she's getting maturer. You need it highlights. They're slightly frilly. You saw my playthrough against Elvira. Yeah, I know the one you mean. I think I probably scrolled past it and saw it. Because I do at least check all the costumes anytime I start it up. Because I mean, I get like the ultimate edition of these games when they're on sale so we can cover everything. So it's like I might as well at least glance at everything. I finished it. I think we've got ourselves a power source. Oh? I do sense a great power emanating from it. It looks like it should slot right in here. Then let's give it a whirl. Alright, I'll just replace it and... But speaking of things off-stream, talking about you doing your fight against Elvira, I finished the hard mode playthrough of Samurai Maiden, and to be fair, credit where it's due, it's a really well-made hard mode. Because it doesn't just bump up the health of all the enemies or bump up the attack, it does do the Devil May Cry thing and rearrange enemies and mini-bosses. Some late-game mini-bosses appear a little earlier. It's not entirely as, like, egregious as Devil May Cry can be, where it's like somehow, like, last mission enemies are now in mission 2, but it does up things up, and it adds an entirely new enemy just to hard mode. It's just an alternate color variant of the basic enemy, but it's like a gold variant, and those things move way faster and are quite tanky. So you have to actually kind of work a little to get at them. There's an eyebrow, it is Lila wearing a bikini. Yeah, because she's already very egregious in her design. But all in all, the hard mode was still very fair. It was definitely harder, but it didn't feel like it just like overextended and was insane. The only like missions that gave me trouble were like the last 3 or 4. Oh, and the final boss. The final boss, what you saw when I did the normal playthrough, the final boss is pretty like chaotic anyway, because there's a lot of things that spawn, including mini bosses. On hard mode, that gets amped up so fucking much. That took me like half an hour of just like grinding and into it before I got it done. But I have learnt a new damage strat. It's just not in Lila's personality. Then that fits into my argument. So I said, I feel like if it doesn't suit the character or detriments them in some way, then don't do it. That fits into one of my 2, like, rules. Because, yeah, I I'm just waking up. Agree. Lila's very stoic, very cold. Like, she's not... She has her moments. There's a couple points where, like, the girl's talking about her, like, health and fitness and how she looks so beautiful and she gets embarrassed. So clearly there's still some femininity in her sort of thing in that sense, but it's not like it's on the forefront. Like, she doesn't outwardly express it. She's very cold and logical and thoughtful. She wouldn't then sexualize herself, you know? Like, you'd never catch her wearing a bikini. You might be able to convince her to join you to the beach, but she'd be the one that brings the giant sunbrella and a sunbed and just chills by the and chills off in the distance, like reading a paper or something. Like, she's just there in spirit, but not actually. She won't jump in the water with you. Well, no good. It's not supporting any power. Let me switch it back. Really? That sucks. I don't know alchemy, but it seems like it's the right size at least. Man, I'm so sure it'd get work. Back to the drawing board, I guess. Still, I think I'm heading in the right direction. So, try increasing the power output just a bit. Huh? But it's already so weak, it could run out at any moment. I'm basically a dude reading a book, playing the Vita on the beach. Yeah, same dude, especially on the Vita part. I bring that son of a bitch with me everywhere. It's hilarious, I got a 3DS when I was like 11 or 12, and got a Vita when I was like 15, and that was like the last day I touched my 3DS. And it's ironic, because when I was 11, I wanted the Vita, and eventually it's like, no, there's not that many games, I'd probably prefer a 3DS, I got the 3DS. And then when I was older and came back to it, it's just such a JRPG machine, I just only use that. People pretending it isn't. It's just because it didn't have any like real blockbuster hits. It was just it just had a shit ton of niche games. And if you're a JRPG fan, it's literally like the golden plate, you know? Because it's got every single mainline net minus the 4th game. Every Final Fantasy from 1 through to 10. Every Persona game minus 5. You know, like it's got a lot of Atelier games as well, I believe. Like it's such a JRPG machine, and as someone who's like bread and butter is JRPGs, like it just became the perfect tool to take with me. I can play the still best version of Final Fantasy IV, the PSP version, off my Vita whenever I want. And I say that in certainty because the pixel remasters of the first 6 Final Fantasies coming out early next year are pixel remasters of only the original NES and SNES versions of those games. Every single Final Fantasy of the original 6 got PS1 enhanced versions and then PSP further enhanced versions later down the road that added extra post-game content. These pixel remasters are not acknowledging them. They are based only on the NES and SNES. So for my money, the best version of Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 4, 3 I think it's debatable, but 1, 2, and 4 is still the PSP versions, which are all available on the Vita. So like the best versions of like the best or classic Final Fantasies are on PSP. Well, I don't necessarily need it on to be there on social media because its content came out, of course. Because I get that, yeah, it did ultimately underperform, and yes, ultimately it didn't get like some big AAA blockbuster hit, unless you really want to count something like Uncharted Golden Abyss or Soul Sacrifice. Which, speaking of, play Soul Sacrifice if you haven't already. Like, I was not expecting that game to be as good as it is, especially because the music, like the music adds so much. Soul Sacrifice's soundtrack is bafflingly fucking good. Like, it really, like, what the actual fuck's going on, kind of, how is this coming out of my Vita, really fucking good. Like, it is absurd. Especially if you can get, I think it's called Soul Sacrifice Delta, or, like, which is basically like an enhanced version, like a director's cut version of the game. I don't know if it's actually called Delta, but it's basically Soul Sacrifice and then another word. That version also comes with, like, a DLC expansion, but it's, like, the collected edition. And it's... Jesus Christ, it's so good. Like, it's simple, but it's so addictive, and it's a healthy length, and then the music is so fucking good. Like, I can't stress enough, like, it's rare for music alone to amplify the quality of a game as much as it does. But the music in Soul Sacrifice, especially some of the boss themes, especially some of the level themes, like, and even the DLC stuff, like, just, they fitted an entire, like an entire orchestra with metal here, there, and everywhere, with operas here, there, and everywhere, with like classical here, there, and everywhere, into a Vita, and it's like perfect sound quality. And if you have it with like, with surround sound headphones, you're in heaven. If you have it like surround sound headphones and you're just playing it, like all the different instruments, you can identify all of them in your ear. You can hear it when they change it up and they get like a flute out. You can hear it when they like you can hear it was actually in a studio and there's nothing synthesized. You can hear that it was like a top quality, like full big budget orchestra they put into this fucking Vita. Did you ever play the Vita Port Legend Dragoon? I straight up never played Legend of Dragoon, but I want to. But if it's on Vita, then there's my ticket to try it out at some point, you know, before Sony shut down the shop entirely. I just want to be fair, I've been like preaching this for ages, but I just want the entire Vita and PSP catalog to go to the Universal PlayStation Store instead of being stuck on the Vita store. Because PS4 and PS5 is part of this new So just unlock the Vita and PSP games so I can play my PSP games and Vita games off my PS5. It's on the PS1 classics. Then because there's so many games that are only on the Vita store that I would love to play on a big screen without having to get the PSTV out. I say that the PSTV's alright. It took me a while to figure it out, but I at least appreciate that it did upscale things, so it was a nice way to play Persona 4 Golden on a big screen again. Prior to its imminent console port, because both Persona 3 and Persona 4 are coming to consoles in January, which is super cool, and I hope people enjoy them. I'm just wary, more so for Persona 3, and this is coming from someone who thinks Persona 3 is the weakest game in the series, but I'm wary that a lot of people who have never experienced Persona 3 won't like it because it's extremely old. It is very fucking dated. Like, I still like it, I just think it's the weakest one, but it is so fucking dated. Like, Persona 4 nowhere near as much, and I still stand by Persona 4 is the best one. Or at least my personal favourite. On a technical level, the best one is Persona 2, but in terms of, like, just personal bias, Persona 4 is my favourite. Opinion, but my opinion fell off hard in 5. I love 5 for what it is. I just wish Atlus would do something else. Because they can't, they're like, it's become frustrating that Atlus literally won't do anything Persona related without making it about Persona 5. Even the Persona 3 and 4 trailer is Morgana from Persona 5 invades the P3 and 4. And I'm like, fuck off, please. I love Persona 5, but I don't want to stop making it the big thing. Stop it. You know, a bit numbed me. And I get that, so I know they're not for everyone. I love base P5. I haven't played Royal, and I've no interest in Strikers. Like, I was satisfied enough with just Persona 5 as is. My only real gripe with it is, despite the game getting delayed for over 3 years, the end game still felt extremely rushed. And then when we found out that, yeah, it was, they cut, like, huge chunks of content in, like, the last 6 months of its development. I'm like, what the fuck? They should have got delayed again then, you know? That's even in terms of JBC stuff. Yeah, I know, like, I've said before, like, it's, the actual story of P5, I mostly enjoyed. And the character writing I really clicked with, especially because I very quickly understood what they were trying to do with some of the characters. My problem is they get cold feet too often. They introduce really cool ideas, they introduce really interesting characters, and they set things up, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see where that goes. But then when it actually starts to go somewhere, it's like they get nervous, and they either like make it less important or straight up drop it. And it disappoints me because I said Persona 1 and 2 would have never have done that. Persona 1 and 2 would have dived all in. If they wanted to talk about a topic of any kind, they would make sure you heard about it. You know, like, they would make sure they said their piece. You didn't necessarily have to agree with them, but they had the commitment to get the point they wanted to make across. And in P3, they also did it. It was just every re-release that came later undid their work, which is, like, depressing for the original writing team. That Festival made it so 2 characters that were supposed to die could technically be saved, and then Portable made the other character that's supposed to be dead somehow be able to survive, depending on what you do. And it's like, no, commit. Don't, like, weaken the commitment in later ports. In the original game, these 3 characters were destined to die, and there was nothing you could do about it. Don't suddenly change it so you could do something about it in later revisions. Come on! And then in P4's case, Persona 4 Golden is literally all the cut content from 4. It's literally every cut idea, so it's literally like the director's cut version of 4. Whilst 5, it's like the game was rushed, so they had to like make new content to justify it. But my problem with Royal was that it should have been DLC, and not another $60 US. And then to port it on PS5 and not let you get a free upgrade to ask you to pay another $60. It's like, fuck's sake, Atlus, you're like the only goddamn company under Sega that does this. Like, we know it's more you than Sega, stop doing this, you know? Like, so instead of taking the amount of arcs they had jamming into one game, since Atlus wanted to make it a franchise anyway, all the arcs arrive until 5 through each game, show ideas. My biggest thing is that I just want a smaller cast in the next game. Like, I always talk about how I want a female protag in 6, because the last time they did it was 2 Eternal Punishment. How I want the cast to be a little bit older, so they don't have the nervousness they seem to show talking about certain topics with these younger characters and whatnot. But ultimately, I just want a smaller cast. Persona 1 was fine with 5 main characters. Well, technically 6, because you had 2 characters that were optional. But you had a main party of 4, but you had 2 characters that were optional. But you could go and get one of them, but only if you'd already started the main plot. But there was a side arc story if you like did different things in New Game Plus that led to an entirely different story called the Snow Queen quest. And if you did that, you got a different 5th party member as an optional thing you could pick up. So technically it was 6, but it was more just, if you did campaign A or campaign B, there was an optional 5th party member you could go hunt down in a warehouse. And you didn't even have to do that. Whilst in Persona 2, it was also technically 6, but that's just because logic hits one of the members of the party. They just lost a member of their family. Their boyfriend is literally dying, and she literally just turns around and says, if you're gonna go fight the literal devil, I'm signing out. Like, literally, like, just before the final dungeon, the 5th main character leaves, because she's like, no, my family's in danger, I want to be with them, bye. And so fucks off. but it's also around the same time that a different character shows up and basically inherits all of her stuff. So it's not much of a loss, it's just a story thing. But that still, it was only 6 main characters total. It was smaller, more concentrated, and it was better for it. Then suddenly P3 is like 10 main characters, and you're like, no, stop it. Persona 4's like 9 main characters, you're like, nah. Persona 5, another 9, nah, please. Sometimes over my ideas, yeah. I mean, I get that Persona does the same thing Final Fantasy does, but every single numbered title wants to be a new story in a new area with a new cast, and I entirely respect that because it's it's deliberately not resting on your laurels, it's having to change things. And Persona 5, to be fair, changed a lot from P4, not just in story writing, character writing, but even in core gameplay, and how you got personas, how you got your way through dungeons, what the dungeons were like a lot of core principles changed in 5. It was a huge risk. And it did pay off for them ultimately because it made Persona mainstream. For better or worse, it made Persona mainstream. The game sold millions. Persona 4 Golden started them on that path just because despite being a Vita exclusive for the longest time, it was like the best-selling Vita game. Characters to each new game, to each one. Yeah, I get that. I think they're not going to, though, honestly. I don't think they ever will. Unless it's in spin-offs, then maybe one day. Because Persona 4 Dancing is basically a spin-off just for Risei in Persona 4. So it's like, clearly there was a point where, like, they were at least vaguely prepared to entertain having individual characters have their own spotlight for, like, spin-off stuff. But Persona 4 Dancing is also a rhythm game, so not that many people played it. And I'm not blaming them either. I love rhythm games, but it doesn't change the fact they're really not for everyone. Of Ryuji, Joker, and Morgana for 5. Royal could have had Haru and Yusuke set. Yeah, maybe. The thing is, like, I've spoke about it before, but the original design concept and the earliest teasers of Persona 5 showed that the main cast was going to be a hell of a lot smaller than what it ended up being. And we don't know if it was always intended to be more, or if something happened in that 3-year delay that added more characters to it. But it was originally going to just be Joker, Ryuji, and Morgana, and that was going to be just that party for the whole game. And that was how it was portrayed to us in every old teaser. And I was actually excited for that, because I was like, yes, smaller casts, make it more concentrated, so they could have deeper story arcs. And then we saw Yusuke, and I was like, okay, Yusuke is actually just Kanji 2.0, but without the muscle. Then we saw Makoto, and I was like, okay, Makoto's kind of annoying. Oh, actually, no, Makoto's alright when she joins the party. Before she joins the party, she was annoying, but when she joins, it's like, oh no, she kicks ass, she's great. Futaba's my little bane. I will not accept any criticism on my Futaba. She is like my video game daughter. I will protect the bean at all costs. And then Haru could have been a good character, was introduced way too late, and her entire story arc was overridden by Morgana's Paddy. So we didn't get a chance to really have it develop. And then the moment her dad dies, it's like, oh, here's a chance for Haru to go from this huge character development. You're suddenly thrown into the casino dungeon. So she really doesn't get any time whatsoever to be a character other than just the weird sadist that says weird lines every now and then when you're in Mementos. Futaba, and she's my antithesis. Now, I like Futaba, especially because, and how well she was executed is always up for argument, and I won't make a stand on it because obviously my knowledge on the subject matter from personal experience is limited. But Futaba, although she was never outright stated to be autistic, she was written to be somewhat reminiscent of that, and it's something that the English voice actress Erika Lindbeck picked up on and did her research before she did any of the voice work to make sure she did it respectfully and did it right. And so a lot of that admittedly kind of builds the bias a little for me as well, but I genuinely just adored Futaba. Even before I knew any of that, I genuinely just adored Futaba. I adore that character. She's a complete little gremlin, but she's my little gremlin. And I say, and how successful or effective they were at that, that's always just a discussion it is, and it's a discussion I won't be a part of. Established by the JP writers, though? Yeah, it was. It was always the intention, right from the very start, to have it be that way. The only thing is that they never made it the absolute forefront and never made it something they went out of their way to establish. They just wanted it to be implied. They didn't want it to be something that had to be said or needed to be said. I don't know if the JP voice actresses or voice directors or whatever necessarily picked on it, but yeah, it was in the original writing draft that she was going to be like that. not necessarily representation, just, well, actually, yeah, technically, yeah, it is. I'm trying to think of how to word it. Not that she's like a representation or like the shining example or anything like that, just that she's someone who's on the scale. And the writers always had that intention, and it said it was the English voice actress, Erica, who picked up on it and made sure to do it right. And it's part of the reason, well, of many, because she's also Margilu in Tales of Berseria, but of many reasons why I adore Erica Lindbeck, because she really takes everything on heart and does everything to the best of her ability and not just does it for a job. Got that vibe, and that's fine. You don't have to. It's just the nature of how they tried to do it. I said how successful or not is not something I'll discuss, because I am in no like room, so to speak, to know enough of what I'm saying. You know, I'm a psychologist, not I understand things on technical levels, not on individual levels at times. It's my biggest crutch at points. But yeah, that was the intention with Futaba. Anyway, on that happy note, let's go back to the story. Yes, just do it. Right now, it's more important for us to help Ryza get a sense of what she's working with. Okay, Ryza, I'm going to do it for like 5 seconds. No, longer than that, okay? Alright, whenever you're ready. Technical level is what matters. Yeah, true. Here goes. So to be fair, yeah, I didn't pick up on it, and then when I heard, and then went through it, I know it's like, to an extent, it's like placebo effect kicking in, but then I noticed it. Once it was like spelled out for me, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, now I can see what this means, I can see what that is, I can see why she's like this, I can see why she has a very specific way of how she understands and processes everything, and how everything takes her several days to really compute and figure out, and now she basically has her own language, and like, she struggles with people. She's like, she shuts up the moment too many people are talking because she can't follow. If people are sarcastic, she doesn't pick up on it. Like, there's a lot of little things with Futaba throughout the whole course of the game that once you're aware, you go, oh, okay. And like I said, how successful they were, that's up to discussion. Atlas writing as a whole, I have problems with. So that would just open up a whole different like can of worms if I started talking about the problems I have with Atlas Games' writing, even though I like them. Spectrum is how widely diverse the experiences are. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more. Anyway, whoa, like I was staring at embers before, but now I can clearly see the flame. And it's the thing that's been there for my whole life, and the problem is, it's like 99% of Atlas I like, but there's a 1%, and there's that 1% is a gnawing problem that is stuck around for as long as I've lived and enjoyed Atlas titles. The problem is that 1%, after about like 2008, 2009, became 2%, then 3%, then 4%, and it's just been slowly like expanding out as the years go on. Like, it's become a bigger gaping problem as it's gone on. And the fact that I'm still seeing it now, like, you play Persona 5 and said, I enjoyed it, but a good 10 to 15% of that game has weird fucking writing that doesn't work. And then you go to Shin Megami Tensei 5, and it's a game that was like, Shin Megami Tensei 3 was the forefather of philosophical writing in a lot of ways. That game is so insane with its philosophical talk and its writing and how it handles itself. Like, it's a masterpiece in what it handles itself. You go to SMT5 and it's like, what the hell happened here? It's just trying to replicate 3 with none of the spirit. The gameplay looks fine from what I've seen, but the actual story of it is like, it's just replicating 3 but with none of the heart or understanding of what made 3 what it is. And then Soul Hackers 2, which I said, yeah, rushed or not and low budget or not, doesn't change the fact the writing's good at the start and end, but everything in the middle is kind of just it's just fetch quests. Like, the writing problem of Atlas, instead of it getting corrected and they're learning from it, it's just getting worse in every single title. And it makes me worried for things like Persona 6, because I genuinely love the Persona series, and I don't want to see it start burning itself apart because Atlas can't take a lesson. Or it was crap, but I saw kneecap potential in the Confidants. I disagree with that as a whole. There was, like I said, there were some story arcs I didn't like. Like I said, the whole of, like, the space arc was awful. Morgana, like, religiously bullying Ryuji at every single turn for the entire game. Ryuji claps back once and we have to go through an entire story arc of Morgana bitching. Come on. And then I sort of go online and see the nerve of people saying, oh, if Ryuji just hadn't done that. And I'm like, then what, stand up for himself? If Ryuji slander, sometimes I get it, but a lot of the other time, come on. Like, the entire of the Haru story arc, and it doesn't help that the dungeon it's tied to is such wasted potential as well, because the space station could have been so cool, and it's the grindiest, most gimmicky dungeon in the game, with a boss rush, or a mook rush. It's not even a boss rush, just a mook rush at the end that they call a boss rush under a time limit, and you're like, that was such a waste of time. Come on. And then I heard they made it worse in Royal, and I'm like, what do you mean they made it worse? So I get a lot of people don't like Ryuji. He is a loudmouth. He's also, you know, a teenager. So of course he's going to do dumb things, because every 16, 17-year-old dude does dumb shit. And that's one of the things I actually do like about Atlus's writing, is the fact that they are, you know, because they're teenagers, a lot of them are immature or impulsive, or do things they later regret, or do things that annoy us older people who can understand that it's immature. In the confidants, but it's like in the main story. And that actually leads to something that I want in Persona 6. I want social links, because that's what they were once called. They just changed their name for Persona 5 to fit the whole spy theming thing they were going for. But I want social links to have more impact on the main story. And the only reason why I think that's actually a chance is because there's glimmers of it in Persona 5. I've said it before, but there's a point, I think just after Haru's dungeon, before the casino, where they're talking about the main character, and if you're dating any of the like main cast girls, they will respond to it when they talk about your room. Like to give my playthrough an example, Futaba panicked hard when they mentioned about like individual time in the room. But it's like, I know if you're like dating Anne, like Anne will say something. If you're dating Makoto, Makoto will say something, etc, etc. So there are glimmers of it in Persona 5, but it's just flavor text. It's nothing significant. It's something more. And it's more annoying as well, like, for me, like, in the older games, like, because Persona 3 introduced social links, so as you can imagine, for any game that's the first one to try it, it's the clunkiest. Persona 3 social links, if there's, like, I think there's, like, 13 or 14 social links, and, like, 3 of them are good. The rest of them are either just mediocre or just plain bad. Or weirdly written. Like, there's 2 or 3 of them that are, like, some of the best social links in the entire franchise, because it was still back when Atlus had, like, a real dark spine and a commitment to do their darker stuff. So when you're talking about, like, when you're talking to a guy who's, like, got a condition that will absolutely kill him, and then the final rank of the social link, you go to the meeting place and he's not there, but his book that he wrote for you is. And so you know that his condition finally took him, kind of thing, and you could just have the book, and it's like, that shit hit because he was such a wonderful character, and you had so much time, and you had so much like care, and his social links were so well written. Like that poor guy, like, you felt so much for him, and then when you got to rank 10, you see the book on the bench, and you just go, oh. And you feel it in, like, the deepest pit of your heart, because you know he's dead. The game doesn't have to tell you. It doesn't have to explain anything to you. You know he's gone. And it's like, Persona 3 had some amazing social links, but for every one they had of that, they had about another 6 where it's like an absolute asshole who doesn't learn his lesson at the end of his social link, and you wonder why you had to put up time with him. Or a student that's got a mad crush on his teacher that's extremely creepy, and you just watch it unfold instead of actually doing anything to try and improve him. Like, there's so, like, Persona 3 has so many, like, it's such a pinnacle moment of Persona games and Atlus as a company, because it's like the first, like, turning point, because afterwards the company got huge rearrangements, and Persona 4 onwards is the modern Atlus we now know and are aware of, sort of thing. Like, Persona 3 was like the last one to do that, and it's just like, you know, like I don't like any of the female leads, like Amiko, Futaba, Haru, and so on. I struggled with Anne because it's literally just discount Lisa, but with worse writing. Lisa being, like, the main girl who has a very similar story arc, but from Persona 2. Just in Persona 2, they actually committed to all the ideas and was actually well written. But Makoto, I didn't like her at first, but that's the point, because that's the central thing that Persona 5 tries to accomplish with absolutely every single character without fail, including the protagonist. And it's up to you and your personal experience how much it works. Did you catch on to what it is? It's It's when you hear it, you go, oh, right. Even if you don't agree with it, or still didn't like some characters, the entire nature of Persona 5's every single character in the game is designed to be unlikable at first meeting. They want you to not trust anyone and not like anyone, including the main character, upon the very first interaction. It's why Ryuji is antagonistic to you the very first time you meet him, but then warms up to you. It's why Anne calls you a liar and distrusts you at the start, but later on warms up to you. It's why Makoto is like out for your head until she gets her persona. It's why Futaba, you don't even know who she is, you just know there's like a hacker company trying to shut you down that she's tied to, so she's antagonistic again. Every single character in Persona 5, main or side, are designed to be bad guys first and then good guys later, because they want you to not like them at first meeting and then learn to trust them. And it's up to you how much that works and doesn't. Because of how many characters there are, obviously it doesn't work for every character, because there's a lot of different characters and all of them are written different. But for me, yeah, like I said, I struggled with Anne because it was just Lisa 2.0 but worse. But Makoto, it worked perfectly. I hated Makoto. When I first went through Persona 5, I couldn't stand her. Every time she was on screen, I rolled my eyes. When she joined the party, though, that opinion very quickly started to change, because I could see she's just got a very, like, sturdy, like, mindset, and her loyalties and morality are very fixated, and she won't shift them for anything for any reason ever. It just so happened we were on opposing sides at first, but now she understands what you're doing, is more willing to accept it. Most dangerous people in life are those who come across as most trustworthy. Yeah, and I'm not saying they were outright trying to make out that the dangerous people can be trusted. So the whole point is that every single character was written wanting you to not like them first and then like them later. They weren't trying to make that wasn't what they were trying to do. They wanted you, because of the nature of like espionage and spycraft and the fact that you're recounting a story of legacy and all that stuff for most of the game, they wanted to give off this impression that every single person you first met couldn't be trusted or couldn't be liked, and then later on, through you as the player, could establish that if you wanted to. Backward mentality, in my opinion. Agree to disagree on that one, my guy. I don't think they hit it with every character, absolutely not, especially some of the side characters. But in terms of the main cast, outside of Akechi, yeah, I think it worked. Akechi was the only character that I still didn't care for when the game ended. Because his logic, his motives, and his reasoning didn't make sense if he had just stopped to take a breather for a second. But I know that's just me. I know Akechi's got the biggest goddamn fan base of any character in Persona, and it's like the biggest person I don't like. It's like everyone loves Akechi but me. If there's 100 people in the world that hate Akechi, I'm one of them. If there's 10 people in the world that hate Akechi, I'm one of them. If I'm the only one left on the world who hates Akechi, I'm it. If no one hates Akechi because I'm not in the world. There's, like, that's me. Everyone me over with Joker? Yeah. Like, that's it. And it's fine. The only the characters I think failed on that front the most, in terms of trying to make him not liked but liked later, were genuinely all the villains. Because they tried to wrap it up too quick, because it's in the rushed content of the game. When you're in the bottommost layer of mementos, and you find like the soul prison for all of them, and you're supposed to feel guilty for your actions. It's like, well, because this area was rushed, you don't get any time to really rectify or go into that. So no, I don't. Oh no, the sex offender creep no longer feels like he has a soul. Oh yeah, I feel so bad for him. Like, like you can't make me feel bad for those kind of characters. Oh no, the guy who was literally abusing and exploiting the artist working under him now feels worthless. Oh, diddums. The mafia guy that was just exploiting teenagers now feels like shit. Oh, too bad. Like, you can't make me feel bad for these people. And because I said, especially because, it was rushed content anyway, they don't go into it at all. They just expect you to feel bad for them. It's like, no. When we come to lack of proper consequence. Yeah, I mean, there's implied consequence, but, like, that was kind of it. There's implied, but nothing on face. Like, I wanted to see that bitch get arrested. I wanted to see that, like, I wanted to see someone, like, kick the shit out of him. Why did the principal have to be the one that got randomly hit by a car or a truck or whatever? Why Why couldn't it have been Kamoshida? And why in God's name did they bring Kamoshida back in Persona Q2? I don't care if the Q games aren't canon. Why in God's name do they bring him back in Q2? It means fuck all to me. Yeah, especially when it's like for something as severe as what Kamoshida did. Because I remember I had gripes with that. It's like he fesses up to his crimes, kind of. He then quits, and then that's the last you see of him. Until the very end of the game, where you find out that because you did all the things in Memento, like in his palace, he's like lost his soul. And you're like, oh, okay. Play consequences, they're not consequences. Yeah, especially because I always forget her name, but Anne's like best friend. After she jumped off the roof and narrowly survived, that alone, I was like, no, Kamoshida just like needs the worst. Like I need to see this man suffer. Because that's a teenager who's like throwing her life away because of the actions of one man. Nah, that one man needs to be dealt with. And it's part of what I mean by Atlas, like I said, Persona 5 has a real bad Atlas commitment issue. Because they should have done more. And it really feels like they were gonna. Because they really build up that he is the absolute scum of the earth. And then they kind of just let it go. And it's like, come on. Like, he's clearly wanting to do something. Like, we should have, literally, we should have been able to, not necessarily be the bad guys, but be the bastards a little bit for that bit. We should have found him in real life and kicked the shit out of him. You know? Like, we should have, like, tracked him down in an alleyway and beat the shit out of him. Because then it would have made more sense to, like, build up, like, the trail of crimes that gets the protagonist arrested over Christmas anyway. If there was actual legit crimes that you did, and not just implied crimes. Consistent track record. Notice that in Persona 1, 2, and most of 3, they're completely good with their commitment. If they set up serious things, they deliver. So my only problem with Persona 3 is that the re-releases was after the change, and so some of those commitments changed. Characters that die and die in brutal ways now have ways to survive. It's like, no, Shinji takes 2 bullets and walks off into the darkness before passing out and dying. Don't suddenly have an alternate thing where if in Portable you do his social link as the female protagonist, he's just in a coma instead and eventually wakes up and survives. No, he dies. His death is impactful because it affects Ken's development. Or like Junpei, where he falls in love just for the person he's in love with to literally be with the bad guys, just for that person to turn on the bad guys and literally sacrifice herself to save Junpei. Don't suddenly then have an alternate ending if you do certain side quests in Festival, the re-release, where she wakes up in bed and survives anyway, because then Junpei's entire character arc of learning to continue after losing a lover is worthless. You only want to got consequences with inorganic consequences like Haru's dad? Yeah. And that was just because of Ketchi. That was just because of Ketchi shenanigans. Arcs and acts of consequences. Well, and that's still my point though. Persona 1, 2, and 3 did them. They were extremely good with doing them. It was Persona 4 that stumbled a little bit because the game as a whole wanted to be lighter in tone, and so I let it off in P4 because of course they're not going to be as fierce on consequences when they want the game as a whole to be lighter. They don't want it to be vicious, they don't want it to be overly dark, they wanted it to be more inviting as a whole. It's why Persona 4's like got the bright yellow colours, why its main theme is like such a bop, and why its whole soundtrack has got more of a bounce and more electric to it. They wanted it to be really friendly and nicer for a younger audience. Not younger, but like teenage or preteen audience, instead of the older, more mature audience that all the Persona games up to that point were. And it worked for me because it was the Persona game that made me fall in love with the franchise. And I was like 11 when I played it. So you agree with their philosophy on 4 either? Yeah, but you got to keep it in mind, at the time, Atlus was still a very niche company, and they really loved the Persona games, and they loved making them, but they wanted to try and make it branch out to a different audience, so took risks. Like any company does when they've got something they really want to do with it, and it's not quite reaching what they want to do, but they still want to keep doing it, they take bold risks, and Persona 4 was one gargantuan bold risk. It's the lightest Persona game in the series now as a result, but I still love it for what it is, and I'm still thankful that game exists. And, for the English voice cast, the amount of well-known, heavily established voice actors and actresses in the industry nowadays that started in Persona 4, including, Troy Baker, one of like the highest paid voice actors in the industry, he was Kanji in Persona 4. You know, like, or Amy Wynn Lee. She was Yukiko in Persona 4. You know, like, there's so many, like... Johnny Young Bosch, you know, good old Nero. He's the protag and Adachi in Persona 4. And he nails both of them. I love Johnny Young Bosch's performance as Adachi. He's the only voice of Adachi to me. I love the Japanese cast of Persona 4 as well, don't get me wrong. But that's like the only character that's like, no, I need Johnny. When it's Adachi, I need Johnny. Because it's nothing works. Maisie Whitehead. No, that's a new name to me. Anyway. We've gone on about Persona for nearly 50 minutes. So well, Ryza, I saw it, not weak like it is now. It should have been obvious that, how it would look at full power. Then, it was helpful? Super helpful. Just wait a little longer, Tao. I'm going to get back to synthesizing right now. Sorry, no, don't apologize. If it's one thing I enjoy in this channel, it's going off on discussions. Anytime I'm live streaming, I enjoy having discussions with people. Especially if it's someone who has a different perspective from me. Like, it's all nice when people are like, yeah, because then I feel validated, but at the same time, it's also nice when people go, no, what are you on about? Because then I get to discuss. You are not to rush, though. You must always pay attention to your materials and synthesis. I know. I won't forget. I'll be back soon. I feel like she already forgot. So what's the objective? Synthesize the Crimson Stone. Ooh. Oh. Cheeky. Okay, we need to start making stuff then. I'm just gonna do this, it'll be easier to solve it this way round. Oh, oh wait, that was a taboo drop, whoops. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh well. Oh, that's the other taboo drop, no, I don't want to use that. I don't want to use the Lake Master, no, I'm at that point where it's like, because I have to be wary of like how much work I'll eventually do in post-game. I don't want to, burn through good resources. Characters are lovable. Inwardly, in my opinion, she lacks depth. Ryza, though, a mix, even after... For me, Ryza's thing, and it's at least in this game, it's the most present, is that it's literally like a coming-of-age story. Oh, what do I need here? Dragon Eye. Where can I find that? Mega Wyvern on Traveller's Road. Have a chance of dropping it. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on this as well. Then we go get Dragon Eye. But yeah, it feels more like a coming-of-age story, and in that sense, yeah, I like it. I adore Ryza as a character. I think I love her energy. I love what she fights for. I love what she believes in, and I like the bounce that is like that carries over everything that she does. My thing is that it's just I want to see where it goes with her. But equally, it's hard to compare after the Mysterious games because Sophie already had a whole trilogy. And I'll be first to admit, yes, when it was just Sophie 1 as my perspective, I liked Sophie, but there wasn't much. At least to me, there wasn't. It took Theoris and Lydian Suli to like make her like explode up in characters I enjoy. And so I expect it'll be a similar deal here, where like even if Ryza 2 is not all the way there, we'll start feeling it more and more as it goes on. Mysterious girl, Satori, and so on. Yeah. Oh, there's a few enemies I missed. I was about to be like, oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize. Look, there's a... Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, they're small tier monsters, so I'm missing, what, 2 small monsters? Game, are you sure any of these enemies drop dragon eyes? Because it said comparison dragon eyes when I went to check it. I'm starting to call BS. I'm starting to call BS. I don't think they drop them at all. Oh jeez, I wonder if like those 5 spaces are the 5 elementals. Oh, the fact that it says 1 of 2 though, there's another page. Oh jeez. Sophie's very particular. Yeah, and to be fair, because she's brilliant, but she had to get there. I'll say in Sophie 1, I liked her a lot, but I liked the whole cast, so it wasn't new. It was in Furious where she like excelled and became so much more interesting. But even then in that game, she's barely in it until after the exam. And it's not until Lydia and Suli where she really nails it. And like a coming of age story only has so much potency. Yeah, but we'll have to see how it goes. Speaking of Sophie though, I think, because I saw it in the trophies as well, does this game have like, you can fight the final boss, but it's far harder version as well? Sort of like how Sophie 1, you could have like a super hard version of Luard you could go fight. Oh, I just noticed the artwork's different, because we're at the end game. That's really cute, I like that. The the status screen. That's adorable, I love it. It's similar with LNS too. Yeah. I'm gonna fight a couple more enemies around here to see if the game is right on something, and then I'm gonna go look up how's best to get Dragon Eyes. Sport Atelier. But it might just, it might not necessarily be a crutch, it might just be something they like doing at the end of the day. It's not necessarily something that they fall back on when they don't know what else to do. It might just be something, a story like they like doing, and as they've got more experience and whatnot, they want to tackle it in new ways, in different styles of characters. Because Lydia and Suli are both very different characters to how new Ryza is. Such a story beat works only as long as it remains novel. Say crutch from the perspective of the consumer. Yeah, fair. But at least for me, I'm liking them. I'm still here, even though it's like my 5th like Atelier game in a row that I've played through. I'm still here, you know, I'm still enjoying it. Alright, so Dragon Eye, where is it, quick? And it's my fault, because I know, like, I think it was like a stream or 2 ago, I used my last Dragon Eye, going like, oh, I will get more later, it's fine. And now here we are. So the Mega Wyvern, it's adamant, does drop a Dragon Eye. King of Storms and Least. Let's go to Least Valley then. So it's just part. I won't like lie and pretend I don't have my own Stevenson story text as a part of what the offer is. But I also know in change of a 20+ series. Not in charge of a 20+ years. Oh, sorry. Oh, right. Wait, it's 25 years now. Sophie 2 was the 25th anniversary game. Yeah, I get you. Right. Art thou referring to these guys? I don't think so. These guys aren't called King or whatever. They're called Watchers. You know what I would like to try again before we wrap up this playthrough though on stream? That one particular elemental. I get it, I get staples. Staples only have so many variants. True. There's gonna be severe Proto-Furious vibes in every possible way. Oh. And if it's Furious, it wasn't necessarily like a coming-of-age story at first. It was just a kid on an adventure who just had to prove her worth. It was only like after that, like after you did the exam, and it was like you got to decide how Furious came of age, depending on whose character quest you did and what ending she ended up with. So these guys with less likable characters, and obviously things like, you know, their writing style would have got better and better as the years go on. But it's one of the things I'm curious about when I eventually do try those older games. I mean, I'm dreading the time limit, but outside of that, just to see like how much they've grown and how much the company's writing focus have changed as it's gone on. Mimetically and genetic. Oh yeah. Oh my god, can one of you guys drop a Dragon Eye? Come on! I don't even know if these are the right enemies. I'm just kind of waddling around and praying. Time limits once you've enveloped yourself into it. It's an acquired taste once you quite know time that feels off. For me though, it's that in any game ever, I like working at my own pace. Oh, that thing. Oh. That thing will definitely drop a Dragon Eye. I know what. Hang on. And especially with how strict I've been told some of the Dusk games are with their time limits, I'm like, oh boy. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That being said, time limits though? No, they weren't time limits, they were action limits. You had 2 actions a day, one in day and one in night. And you had so many actions before you ended the thing. That's different. Because that's just planning. That's not the clock is ticking, you better move your ass. It's you can stop and think about what you want to do next as long as the dungeon's done. And also in Persona, you could get the dungeon that the time limit's about done the fucking day you unlock it. In general, it's strict for the sake of thematics. Yeah, because I know like that game, it wasn't that it was trying to be darker, but it was trying to be more serious in some ways. So it wanted like to have more impact, and it wanted to make sure you got to move on more. At least that's from what I've been able to tell. It's the same in Persona 4. Persona 4 is action limits. And I would say Persona 3 as well, but not really. Persona 3, it's every full moon, you're going to have an event that requires you to fight a major boss. So you just need to make sure you fit in the grinding time whilst you're doing everything else to be strong enough for whatever it is. Bum, 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 bum. Right, before we do this, I'm going to save. I'm going to turn it to daytime, so we've got like, you know, the day bus. And then I'm going to foolishly brave fighting this elemental a third time. Now we're even stronger and got better equipment to see if it's actually possible to beat this son of a bitch. I don't even know where they all are. We've only found 2. I have no idea where the other 3 are. We've only found this one and the one in the area we were just in. I have no clue whatsoever where the other 3 are hiding. Brutal, it makes more fun with sense once you've acclimated. Alright. Alright, let's see the high leg rise. There it is. Alright, first things first, get to tactics level 2 at least as soon as possible. I'm gonna use the general buff. Yeah, there it is. I was going to boost my stats to come up. That's why I was alternating. This game's lucky that I absolutely love this theme. For how many times I've tried to beat this thing. But all of our elemental affinities are super low. Oh, your stun is imminent. There we go. So let me actually read your comments. I haven't. Perspective you have currently is that of an outsider. It's like the first day at school. You're super nervous and it's new. And it's time limits. It's like near summer. Passes by. You're used to the grind, but the time fatigue sets in. It's already the end. It's just Ayesha specifically that's frustrating as fuck. Oh right. Because. But it's also because Ayesha's way older, so of course things are like that. The idiotic mistake of gating both the normal and true ending specifically within the time. Oh god. Okay. I'm going to try and sneak in a silhouette just so we can try and get our hammers even better. And this is why I'm using this first to try and get the stun. Hey, we won! Nice, okay, 1 elemental down. The Genesis hammer won it for me again. We just made sure she... Ooh, that glare. Ooh, look at that, that glare. Which Gus learns from in Escher and Logi. Oh, that's it? They just fuck off? Oh, okay. I'm feeling confident. I'm gonna go fight the other one that I know the location of then. Where are the other 3? Saving again. Where are the other 3? Because I know there's one here. Or do they not unlock until after you've beat the main game or something? Because it feels like I've been just about everywhere. Like, now it feels like, I know I keep on making the comparison, but it's baffling how many things in this game remind me of Final Fantasy XII specifically. But I'm getting huge 12 vibes because it feels like it's the same thing as when I'm hunting down the Eidolons in 12. Whereas like they're like hyper specific and like super well hidden. Hopefully they're not as well hidden because that was kind of insane. Like, you know, get to the last act of the story, go back to like the second from the first dungeon in the game, and now there's a new path that you can be unlocked if you deliberately do a puzzle wrong that leads to one of the super bosses. Huh? You're not gonna know that's there without a guide! Or without being like intensively researching everything. 12's my best mate's favourite. 12's phenomenal. 12 is literally a single player MMO. It's a full MMO styled game with like a huge exploration, a huge like turn timer on everything. Like every skill takes time to set up, every magic has time to set up and whatnot, but it's a single player game. It's literally a single player MMO, and it's great at it. It's gargantuan, it will take you several hundred hours to 100%, and it's extremely ambitious considering it was a PS2 title. My only gripes with it is that it's very fucking slow to start. The PS4 enhanced version, other than adding more content, really cleaned up the opening by simply giving you a fast forward button, but it doesn't change the fact it's a real slow open. And it's one of those games that I can't stress enough, like it feels like you almost have to play it in the English dub, because they deliberately give it like an old sound. Like they use older and like slightly scruffier mics deliberately to give the whole game like a feeling. And they do it in the Japanese version as well, but it's just obviously it's not as noticeable. But in like the English dub for like 12, it's like every time I hear the characters speak, any of them, like I'm just like, read me a bedtime story with this microphone. Because it's like deliberately aged, but not like overly scuffy, if that makes sense. Like it's got like a real like 90s like mythical storybook sound to it with all the voice actors. Ryza's gonna go next. I was gonna try and have Claudia go next to get a heal, just like a safety heal. No, stop asking me to lower the enemy stats. There we go, that's what I want. And the thing is, once the Pixel remasters of Final Fantasy 1 through 6 come to console, every single Final Fantasy, barring 13, will be on PS4 and PS5. And it's like, come on. 13, 13-2, and 13 Lightning Returns. Do a remastered trilogy of those games, and then all of them are on one platform, I'm begging you. One of my favourite ship in Atelier ever is Ryza and Claudia. Yeah, that's... These two, like, bond and friendship and how it grows in this game is beautiful, and I really hope it goes further. I know in Ryza 2 they don't, like, I mean, but come on, Ryza 3, come on, they're 22 now, they're old enough to know what they want. You know, they're old enough to know what they want. Will this end the fight? It will. Oh, we're gonna get, like, that glare again. Look at that, oh! That's a proper you, bitch. Looking kind of look in their eyes. Alright, that's 2 down. Where in God's name are the rest? Where? We found 1 way over here. We found 1 way over here. So, like, is there 1 over here, potentially? It makes sense. I don't want any whole implied. Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, I have more hope. And it's entirely, and because of Blue Reflection Second Light, you know, having a canonical gay couple and having an entire story arc with them, and, you know, having Uta confess her feelings to protagonist. Like, clearly they're a little bit more willing. I was hopeful it would be there. I'm gonna be honest, I was hopeful. I was like, Maple Delta's an optional area. If it's anywhere's gonna hide a super boss, it'd be there. I want a kiss scene. Oh yeah, you want Samurai Maiden. That's what you mean. It was like a full scene dedicated to not only confessing, but confessing love. And then like making out. You want that. And if it's like Sophie X plushed her, yes, it was still implied, but it was a well-handled implied because they had them look like bridesmaids and then commit to spending the rest of their lives with each other and shit. And it's like, oh, okay, you can see what they're going for here. It's like, where? Oh, sorry, you're goddamn right. Do you know offhand where the other elements are, or do you have to finish the game first before they show up? Is there one up in the lab at all? God, look at this shark-infested library. Jesus, get me out of here. Oh, never mind, found one. Alright. So I use Trophy's Guide for it. Oh, we got our third one. So there's only 2 more, I think, after this. What I imagine is that we'll fight this one, find whatever the 4th one is, and now we'll unlock, like, the final one. Oh, your lightning resistance through the roof. So my Genesis Hammer's not gonna... Playing against blind. Yeah, as much as I get that, I like having that first experience with everything. I like not knowing what's coming up and then getting surprised by it when it happens. No, I don't want that. I want boost my stats, please, Lilla. No, fucking God's sake! Before we die. There we go. And I'm gonna swap the Claudia and have her heal Ryza. And maybe herself. And maybe herself. Hang on. Actually, no, I'll wait for the turn to rotate and then just thing. Get rid of that. Hey, hang on. Where's my core charge game? Did I not do it long enough? There we go. I must have just not done it long enough. No enemy stats? Okay, I can do that. Here's the thing about my brain though, I end up ruining my experience with information, but those guys have a massive enjoyment out of it, and that's fair. Does it each their own? For me personally, it's not that it ruins it, it's that it lessens it. I love not knowing what's coming up and just being able to go, whoa, wait, they did that? Oh shit, that's in this, you know? Like, if I knew in advance that Sonic Frontiers was going to have the sickest boss fights ever known to man beforehand, yeah, they still would have been hype as fuck, but it wouldn't have had that raw, like, pure holy shit kind of out of me that it got. Like, if I knew in advance that Sonic was going to, like, Metal Gear Rising, grab a sword between his fingers that's like 50 feet long, yank it out of the enemy's hand, and slash them in half like a samurai, it still would have been cool to see, but it would have lessened the impact. The fact that I didn't know that was coming made me, like lose my mind. Oh, come on. I was like, Kemon, we've lowered your resistances so much. You gotta let me do something. Oh, we just made you more weak to physical. Ugh. Ends with me. Certain series may get ruined, but I've actually enhanced the extra information. Social hype should not be underestimated. Yeah, and I respect that. It's just me personally. Some people, I completely get it. It's like, if you know what's coming, it's like, oh, I get to do this. Oh, wow. I need to see if I can upgrade my energy. All stats up S. There's got to be a way I can get that to like M at least. Screw it, let's do this. Oh, we won. Okay, cool. You see how crazy Frontier is. But yeah, nor I. Nor I. I had hopes for it because I knew it was like they were taking a big risk and taking it a different direction and trying out new things. I was not expecting it to be like one of the best things I'd ever played. And I know that's like extremely skewed because I had been so disappointed with Sonic games for so long. It wasn't that they were bad, they just a lot of them weren't for me. Or as I said, in the good old days of like mid 2000s, each Sonic game had like a continuous narrative. Like some pieces of the lore and story would carry on into the next one. And then when the Colors era came around, all of that was neglected. And it just felt like such a kick for someone who'd like been keeping up with all the lore and all the story to suddenly play something that just threw it away. Experience with Frontiers. Yeah, and then you learnt the hard way why I think Forces is a piece of shit. I should say, I know like for little kids it's good. And that was the target audience was. The entire Colors era audience was for borderline toddlers. And that's not meant as an insult, literally it was their target audience. And that's why it just didn't click with me, someone who's, you know, not a toddler. Right, if I was one more elemental, where would I be hiding? Maybe? I don't think so. And Mania is great because it was made by fans. It's made by it's an official team, but it was an official team of fans that made it a passion project that Sega supported. And it baffles me that Sega didn't then keep that team together and make a brand new, entirely original Sonic title. People have been begging for Sonic 5 for ages, and they're the team to do it. They're the ones that understand the craft. Let them make Sonic 5. I'm gonna level with you. It's not that I didn't like Forces as much as Forces' positives outweighed heavily by negatives. I said I don't like Forces at all. I think Forces is one of the worst games in the franchise, but I know that's just me. Some people like it, but like even the ones that like it do admit that yeah, the game's kind of boring and it's very short and it kind of just you get it done. They just like the concepts or they like the ideas. But for me, just the whole game, it's like I did it once and I was like, I'm done with this. This is so meh. Right, so the Elemental's not here. Where would you be hiding? I could just look it up, but I want to see if I can find them first. So it's not going to be here because we've already found one there. Oh, I was like, maybe it moves. Maybe it's up there now the final boss isn't there. Screw it, looking it up. 1 second. Wait, what? Okay, so one's in the altar. The other one apparently sometimes can replace the one at Limwick Hill. Okay. We'll go to this one first. He replaces the gold puny. That's cheeky. Nothing Burger, to be sure, however, Nothing Burger's pale in a franchise compared to games that seem like blatantly offensive and or aggravating. Like in Action U, that's Nothing Burger, but I still prefer over 4GO, especially Ninja Wars. Fair. Oh, right, yeah. Gee, I found the next element. It's literally just, it just camps up here once you're done. Got it. And after this one, we've got the Dark Elemental, which is apparently on that hill, where the gold puny usually is. God, my controller vibrates so much when this thing starts powering up. Ice Elemental, ooh. Alright, same deal as always. Get to at least Tactic level 2 and stop worrying about everything else. No. I mean, lower the enemy stats we could do, but I want to get the stat buff on us first. No. There we go. Ow! Okay. Ow, stop targeting just Ryza. I need to get a bit more points first. There we go. Oh, you're weak to the hammer? Oh, you poor fool. You're weak to the hammer. Good fucking bye. Yep. 6,500 damage that did in the end. Yep. The moment it said weak to hammer, I was like, oh, this is over. Oh, they're not just reskins. I just realised that Elemental had shorter hair. Well, they are mostly reskins, just with slight alterations. Alright, let's restore our stuff, and then the dark one. Considering it's the dark one, it might only be there at night, so let me just do this wise. Is it still the gold puny? It is. Oh, well, we'll kill it anyway. Apparently the last one's here. The last one will spawn in place of the gold puny. Is it just a chance thing? I need to look it up again, hang on. Oh, okay, never mind. Question answered. You have to actually see the credits roll first, and then in post game it will be there. Got it, understand. Comprehended. Okay. Let's actually get back to plot then. But we managed to take down 4 of the 5, so after we beat the game and the credits roll, before we start the episodes, I'll run back and see if we can take it on. I imagine that also means it's going to be stronger, but we'll see. So actually make this Crimson Stone and start seeing how this story's going to end. Which means we are finishing it today, so no swimsuit Ryza. I mean, probably. It might be more after the Crimson Stone thing, but there's a part of me that kind of doubts it. I think it'll be Crimson Stone, and then it'll be like the last conversation with everyone. Sort of like how Sophie 1 ended with you having to talk to everyone once on your way home first. I did it! Finally! I think I made exactly what I had in mind! Boo! So much more powerful than the last one. Oh, it's gotta work. It's just gotta bring power back to the island. I'm going to restore everything back to the way it was. Well, you can't say I didn't try to drag it out. What was it? It would have just been this, I think, for a stream. So I think that's her one. She doesn't have another one. No, it would have just been that for the stream. So it's not even that much. Anywho. No, bunker. I always go to the island to look for bunker when the bunker is treated as something different. Empel, Tao, I did it. For real this time. My word. It's nothing like your previous one, that's for sure. Yeah. Even I can tell you've improved it. This is way different. It sure is. Now let's give it a try. Everything you've done. Oh, my nose. You've done until now has led to this. Don't falter now. Yeah, no pressure. Please don't put any more pressure on me. Yeah, I wrote this game. Tao, are you ready? Ready. Please. Come back to life. Huh? Power is recharging at an unbelievable rate. It was limping along before, but now it's all back. Confirming tidal current, adjusting water level. Jesus, Tao, little hacker man. Repositioning the island. It's all working. You can feel the power spreading to the rest of the island. And now to cap it all off, activating decentralization equipment, pumping water to the surface and... Did it work? Actually, I don't know. I can't see what's going on up above, but it should have worked. Why don't you two go and check? Go and be proud of what you've achieved. Yeah, let's go, Tao. Ryza, raid up! Well done, Alchemist Ryza Stout. Lila and Claudio, that's an interesting combo. Did it work? See for yourself. Whoa! Aww. Trophy unlocked, an island reborn. It's pure fresh water. Oh, you did it, Ryza. Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we did it. There's water gushing out of the fountain in the Boden district. Well done, Ryza. You did it. Yeah, but we're not done yet. There's still one thing left to do. We need to return the water to the Oran people. Yeah, and it also, Ryza's just single-handedly removed any influence and power that the Brunnens are allowed to have. Because they sat on the only water source. It's not the only water source anymore, so people can get their own. Well, I say that, like, if it was just Boss nowadays, I think he could have been trusted with that responsibility. It's his dad. His dad cannot be trusted with any responsibility. He's just a loud man who likes his voice. I nearly went, he's the Elon Musk of Atelier games. Just a loud man. Is this not what we're doing? I thought we were just coming straight here. Or do we have to go to the boss first? Oh no, we go to the underworld, because that makes... Okay. That's it, we saved the day. Now let's go back to the final dungeon to share the good news. I know, it's to tell Kilo that we've done it so we can get the water back, but still. I hope we meet more, were they Orans? I think the people are called. I hope we meet more of them and not just Lilla and Kilo in later games. I'd love to see like a whole town or village of them to see like how their culture's different and how they work things different, yada yada. I hope Boss was able to reach Kilo safely. I've been training him. I'm sure he's fine. Besides, I didn't see any traces of battle along the way. Huh? What's that about, Boss? Oh, we asked him to take the artifact to Kilo himself. He headed out ahead of us. Really? I thought it was strange he didn't come with us, but I thought you had the artifact, Hal. Nope, my bag's totally empty, see? What the heck were you thinking? You know how precious that artifact is, and you made him go alone? She's right, the Felucia lost their leader, but they're still wandering around. It's still really dangerous. These two are turning into mums. It's okay, bringing it back here alone is his way of taking responsibility for things. But... you're late. Those two would make a cute couple, Boss and Kilo. Don't you're late me, acting all nonchalant. Welcome, good alchemist Ryza. I have been waiting for you. Right, well, didn't exactly go as planned, but I'm here to fulfill my promise. The original water source is this way. Follow me. Wow, that was easier than I expected. It sounded like a glass vase shattering. Vase. Vase. Word. How many centuries have the Oran been waiting to do that? Is that the sound of water? Say, please tell me she took her hood down. Yeah. Yes. I can feel the breath of life flowing back into the sanctuary. And with the return of the water, all the remaining Felucia will flee. Everything will go back to normal. Looks like you've completed. Looks like you've completed. Nearly lost my voice there. Yet another big task. I'm so happy. You did it, Ryza. Everything's back to the way it's supposed to be. Thank goodness. I was worried the water might come crashing down in a giant flood. Well, stop worrying. Start jumping for joy. You too, boss. Hey, stop pulling on me. Let it crash and flood and overflow. Yell and shout for the water of the sanctuary. That's right, even if just for now. The promise has been kept. Is there joy? The same feeling I have within my heart.
Now all we have to do is seal the gate. Time to get back to the gate and head to the cove.
Seal it? Oh no, we're gonna have to say goodbye to Kilo then. Kilo, thank you for letting us use the Queen's treasure. You defeated her. You have every right to use it. You saved my home, so all I can do is thank you. I appreciate that. I really hate to say this, but we need to seal the gates that we used to get here. Lila. Our goal is to stop anyone else from ever stepping foot in the sanctuary, the way the Clint Kingdom did. Please, let us seal it. You are my Oran comrade, but I still must ask. I understand. It's sad, of course, but I understand this is the best way forward. Even with the Ravaging Queen gone and our water supply returned, it will take years to return to normal. But I will stay here and await the return of my comrades. I will watch our world heal. And when they do return, I will tell the tale of the heroes that saved us. The tale of the heroic alchemist and her friends. Oh, please don't give me too much credit. I want everyone to understand how you saved our sanctuary. Our world will be loving and beautiful, and if you return here, my comrades will welcome you. I guess that sounds okay, although I'm not sure that's what Lilo and Empel wanted. They are always exceptions, and I'd say you've earned it. I just pray that day comes. May the sun bless you and the moon guide you. Aww. So what now? Head back to the cove? Yeah. Go return to the gate. Anything else you have to say? This place used to be so beautiful. I'm trying to see if she has the heterochromia as well. I don't think she does. I was wondering if it's like a thing for all Oran, that all of them have like different coloured eyes, but I think it's just Lila. At least for now, just Lila. We'll have to see if, like, with more show up in the sequels. Back to the cathedral we go. So how do we go about sealing this thing?
It's time to tie up this one last loose end. Time to seal the gate.
So what do we have to do exactly?
I need to set up a number of objects around the gate. It's quite annoying, if I'm being honest.
Originally, the building itself would have served that purpose, but as you know, that's not an option. And that's how the gate activated without anyone realizing it. So what are these objects you have to set up? Anything we'd be familiar with?
You've seen them lying around everywhere, in the dirt and the muck.
Wait, are you saying? Indeed. They're the special stones, created by the Clint Kingdom.
I need you to help me start moving the stones into place.
What? I'm so sick of manual labour. Oh, hush, Tao. Everyone else is working. And that's the sound effect of, oh, we just did it. Okay. I was expecting there to be like a little like scene or artwork of them like shoving things around, but never mind.
Excellent. The sealing is complete, and the gate is silent.
So, all you had to do was place the stones? Won't the gate open back up if someone moves them? The gate was originally designed to reactivate at the slightest disturbance, which is why it opened.
Precisely. But once it's been properly sealed, a much more complex process is needed to open it again.
Are you sure you're okay with this, boss? Kilo, I mean, you might never see her again.
She said she's going to wait for the rest of her people to return, even if it takes centuries. She told me the true name of her land. I'll find another way to the underworld and visit her then.
Oh, you really do care about her, boss. I hope that goes somewhere in Ryza 3, if he's not in Ryza 2 that much. I hope he gets to reunite with Kilo, you know, when he's a bit older and a bit more mature sort of thing, because those two I think genuinely would make a cute couple. I see. Anyway, good work everyone. It's finally over.
And now let me guess, go home? Return. Oh no, not home, the Atelier. Close enough. Oh, these guys are still around. This makes sense. So what's going to happen now that the village doesn't have to rely on the Brunnan family for water? What do you mean? I don't think anything will change. Moritz just won't be able to bully anyone anymore. He'll be mad at first, but I'm sure he'll find another way to make money. I have to admit he's good at that. So that's the only thing that changed after our grand adventure? But that means you were able to protect your ordinary life, right? Oh, she's smiling. I guess, but I was hoping for some kind of reward, like not getting yelled at by my mum anymore. Same, Ryza. Same. Yeah, and now it's going to be that everyone's going to start going their different ways. Listen, Ryza. Father told me his application to open a trade route to the capital has been approved. Oh yeah? Good for him. Which means his work here on the island is finished and we're moving on. Huh? You beat me to it, Claudia. I'm actually thinking of becoming a knight-errant. We'll be leaving soon as well. Right, it's time for us to start our search for the next set of ruins. Boss invited me to come study abroad with him at the capital, and I think I'm going to accept. Fucking Ryza's gonna go from having like a group of 7 to just on her own in the snap of a finger. That's a bit much to throw on the poor girl. Jesus. Everyone's leaving? I'm sorry, Ryza. I just couldn't find the right time to tell you. There's no need to apologize, is there? It's not like it's your choice. And the gate was sealed. We were bound to wander off eventually. For me, it just felt like the time was right, and I understand Tao's decision. Boss is another story. He wanted to research the Clint Kingdom. Yeah, because he feels like he personally owes them a great debt, so he wants to try and fix, like owes the Orans a great debt, so he wants to try and fix things. So learning more about the travesties that happened to them, yeah, of course he's going to do that. I can respect Boss for doing that. There's still a lot to do first, so we'll be here for a little while longer. I see. I guess we're gonna have to plan a going away party. Ryza, we might not be able to make it too flashy, but I know. Let's just go around and all give one idea. Ryza, you're trying to hide your feelings. That's absolutely what she's doing. But she's trying to hide that she's heartbroken, that she's gonna lose all her friends. Well, not lose them, but they're all gonna go their different ways. So she's like, we'll just go do something else for a minute. We'll figure something out. Like she doesn't want to admit that she's sad. You know, she doesn't want to admit that she's upset. She doesn't have it in her to do that. She's too much of a buzzing bean to let herself get depressed. Heading to your friend's going away party, Ryza. Yeah. Please don't say you need my help with something. No, that's not it. It's just... What is it, Dad? I don't like it when you make that face. It's his way of trying to cheer you up. You can tell you're doing your best not to cry. Huh? No, that's not true. Come on, Dad. We're your parents. You can't hide that kind of thing from us. I guess. Anyway, I'm not gonna cry. I'll be fine, but... Thank you. And just go and have fun. We'll be here when you get back. I know this isn't an official event, but please don't cause any trouble for the alchemist, okay? I won't, Mum. Jeez. So even they can see it, I can see it. Like she's trying to hold herself back. She's trying to not be sad. But it's kind of like, of course you're gonna be. If you have like a group of friends and you've done so much together and suddenly all of them at once are taken away and are going off to different parts of their life, it's gonna like hit you like a truck. It's gonna feel like a breakup almost, but just like 6 times over. I know our guests would leave someday. But the little troublemakers too. Oh, it's gonna get lonely around here. I don't feel that well, maybe just a little, but... Thanks for waiting. Gosh, the town office is such a pain. All I needed was the exam application. So you're gonna study abroad with Boss, huh? You told me that 6 months ago. I'd have laughed out loud. Well, I'm not leaving anytime soon. I still have to work hard and pass the exam to get scholarships and stuff. You can read the Clint Kingdom's language, so I'm sure you'll pass. Anyway, it's time to celebrate. I keep on forgetting. Where else do I need to go? Kirkenport, the Brunnan Manor, and the Valence residence. I'll go to the Valences. Actually, no, the party's probably going to be at the Valence Manor, so I'll go there last. Who's going to be at the port? That's significant enough. Fishing's been back to normal ever since that earthquake. Nothing to do with alchemy, that's for sure. Well, you ever need anything, please feel free to go to Ryza. Lila, time to go. Right. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye. Have the fish returned to the lake? They have. Living things are quite simple. As long as the environment is right, they will always return. It looks like everything here has been cleaned up nice and tidy. Then shall we go? Rest us today. That's what you say. You're saying to mature, but to be honest, I kind of prefer you this way. Aww. Aww. We'll go check in on Boss, and then go check in on Claudia. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, Lumbar, you exist in this game. Okay, that's it for today. Hey, you're not worn out, are you? I need you to take care of things while I'm gone. I'll do my best. You really seem to be taking this seriously. He may not be a great fighter, but he needs to have some skill if he's going to be father's bodyguard. Yeah, how's your dad been since everything happened? I told him he needs to prove he's more than just hot hair and start working harder, and I think that motivated him. I'm sure he can work hard when he wants to, so... Are you coming to the party? Lens threatened to drag me there by my hair if I didn't. Good. I'm glad you two are so honest with each other. And now, last, but certainly not least, let's go see the not girlfriend. You've taken such good care of my daughter, and in a way, me as well. I should thank you. You are a huge part of people recognizing me as an alchemist. I hope you and my daughter will remain friends, no matter where we may end up. Absolutely. We're planning to return to my wife's resting place, so Claudia can play the flute for her. Right, and I'm sure she'll want to stay with you on your travels after that. It makes sense. Perhaps. But you'll always have our support. Alchemist, Razorlin, Stout. Ryza, I'm ready, let's go! Okay, well, goodbye. Raisin, Bowden, Kirkin, Brunnan. Okay, and then go back to the Atelier. I'll say, we have been everywhere, haven't we? Alright, let's see this, like, farewell party and see if Ryza can somehow not cry. It's been so long since we built this hideout. Have we changed for the better? I can read the Clink Kingdom's language, and I read through nearly every book at home. I walked through the Devil's Field and stood at the top of the Holy Tower of Piana. I learned to be brave enough to play my flute in front of my father. And well, I guess I learned how to be a pretty good alchemist. Definitely. Yeah, you sure did. Whoa! You figured out how to build a new arm for Empel. You saw how we could use the Queen's treasure to keep our island from sinking. And you fixed that weird equipment, so you could give Orin their water back and save our village. It feels weird having it all listed out like that, but we couldn't have done it without Empel and Lila. And we all worked together to stop the invasion of the Felucia.
I guess we should include Boss in that one. We all work together to protect everyone's ordinary life here. Nobody can deny that. Yeah, that's true. We work so hard. I think that together we can do anything. Raisin, Boden, Port, Manor, Valence, and then return to the Atelier. Right? I'm not missing anything. I'll go back and check everywhere. Oh. Oh, we need to go check on Lent. And his, you know, perfectly healthy, we promised relationship with his father. Oh, jeez. He said he wants to become some kind of knight errant. Did you put that idea in his head? Why'd you have to sound so dismissive? It wasn't me. I was surprised as anyone when he told me. That was all him, trust me. All him. I remember how much of a crybaby he used to be, and now he's deciding stuff like that on his own. Not that I would ever want to be compared to you, but wandering the land does sound like fun. You got one hell of a mouth on you, kid, but it's your life. Do what you want. I will. Maybe I'll drop by when I feel like it. Get out of here. Now I said everything. Oh no, it's saying me maybe go back to the right. Let's check. Have to do it. Tom Cruise still just come down video to thank people for watching the new Top Gun movie. I'm fucking Jesus. Yeah, fair. I've heard, mostly from my mother, dearest, that the new Top Gun movie was actually really, really good. My mum loved it. It's one of those I'll get around to it and watch it at some point. Oh, it's pointing us back to the Atelier. Got it. Oh, and of course we entered a block scene. God damn it, guys. You need to stop doing this. They need to stop making the endings like this. God dang it. Alright, everyone's in. Ryza. Da-da-da-da-da. Here's our guest of honor, Boss. So what do you think of Atelier Ryza? Boss. Not bad for something you came up with. Ryza. You're still full of attitude, huh? Anyway, with that out of the way, I'd like to begin the group going away party and wish for a bright future for everyone. Alright, now it's just like everyone's standing in a circle in the main room. Lent, you know, we spent so much time talking about us, we never thought to ask. Ryza. Huh? What's up? Lent. What are you going to do now, Ryza? Are you planning to stay here on the island? Ryza. Oh, well, as the village's alchemist, I already have a plan. Ampel. Oh yeah? Let's hear it. Ryza. First, I predict that the island will lose power again in about 100 years, so I need to deal with that. Next, I'll develop better desolation equipment and build as many as I can. Then, I'll figure out some way to stabilize the island. Can't just have it floating all over. How's that sound? Empel. That all sounds well and good, but you don't actually have a plan, do you? Ryza. Nope, figuring out is part of my goal. If I can figure it out quickly, maybe I'll leave the island. But until then, I'm going to stick around here. I need to protect the ordinary days of everyone here. Tao. Well, I think you'll do just fine, Ryza. Boss. You think? I know she'll do just fine. Oh, he winked at her as well. Right. Hey, stop interrupting. He winked at her as well. Like, even Boss is like, yeah, she'll be fine. Oh, and I got the trophy, Beyond the Present. Oh, that's really... hopefully there'll be the extra menu again so I can get to show you guys, but it's a cute artwork of
Ryza and Claudia shaking hands with everyone standing around smiling. Claudia, don't worry, Ryza. I know you'll fix everything and leave the island in no time, I'm sure of it. And then we can travel together. Oh, Father would be really happy for you to join us. Or it can just be me and you. Careful, Claudia. Ryza, I see. That sounds kind of nice. Then we can capture Lent and track down Empel and Lilla. And then kidnap Tao and Boss from the capital and have another party, just like today. Lent, capture? How do you plan to do that? Of course, if anyone could find a way, it'd be you. Tao, yeah, I can see it now. Boss, I certainly wouldn't put it past her. Empel, I might take you up on that, assuming we're not too busy. Lilla, and if we are busy, we'll force you to help us. I can't stress enough, Gus, it's the one thing that annoys me, and it's annoying because it wasn't like this in Sophie 1, so it's something they got into the habit of later. It wasn't like this in Sophie 1 or Theorist. They started it in Lily and Suli. The ending gets blocked. Claudia, if we happen to miss you on our travels, would it be okay if we dropped in here? Oh, the checkerboarding, the letterbox is gone. So it's going to be cutscene mode of everyone smiling at Ryza. Ryza, anytime! This is Atelier Ryza, our secret hideout. And is that the ending? Is that the credits rolling? It's fading to white. And now fading back to black. Oh no, we're going to see a cutscene of the camera panning across the beach. And then turning up to the sky with the sun beaming down. And it's transitioned to, narration on an ordinary island called Kirken, in an ordinary village called Raisenboden. Is Ryza running around and fighting monsters. Oh, helping out Agatha, that's cute. She's fighting monsters with Agatha. I lived an extraordinary life and fought to protect an ordinary one. She used a bomb to defeat the monster. Why didn't she use the Doomhammer? And then she waves goodbye to Agatha and is back off running. Back to her cauldron. I'm Ryzelyn Stout, but everyone calls me Ryza. I'm a normal farmer's daughter and an alchemist. Oh, it's like, oh no, it's panning across. It's like the brown filter of like time passing of like everyone in the room, and now they're all going to start vanishing. In my atelier, surrounded by the things I found on my adventure and the things that alchemy taught me. Yeah, everyone's starting to fade out one by one because she's on her own. Even Empel and Lilla standing around the map turn to smile and wave, and then they're going to fade out, right? And then they just faded out, yep. And then Ryza puts her hand on her heart and smiles. She didn't cry. She was... I would have wept if I was Ryza. Well, narration continues. It might seem kind of boring to some people, but it's the start of another wonderful, exciting day. Oh, she's ran out into the water. Under the deep blue sky and the summer sun, I look out into the distance, far, far away. Oh, it's fading to black again. Now is it credits? Now it's credits. Okay. Oh, the credits theme's a piano piece. Oh no, I don't want to skip it. I was going to skip it so you guys can see the screen again. But starting with piano, like, come on. Oh, this is a beautiful little track. I'm listening to it for just a second and then I'll skip it if I can. I might not be able to skip it, to be fair. I can skip it. Alright, let's see what the post-credit scene is. Alright, it's her stretching over the beach with a rainbow in the sky. Smiling to herself. And then she notices something behind her. She's turned around, and what does she see? Oh, no, she's smiling again. What's she seen? Oh no, she's just smiling dead at the camera. So you get to look one more look at her adorable little face once more. Now is it over? I mean, you can start seeing. There we go. We're back.
You'll probably come up saying, hey, do you want to save? Okay, creating clear data. Loading clear data will allow you to choose one of the following. Continue on after the ending and new events will be added, or NG Plus with money, coins, accessories, and Weasel roast record. And you save over a new slot. Create clear save. Yes. And I'll make it over a new save. Very hard and charismatic difficulty and some extras. Oh, okay. That's adorable. Like, Tao sitting on Lent's shoulders, Ryza's looking towards the camera, everyone else in the beautiful field. Okay. Aww. Alright, before we do extras, because we've got the episodes, before we do episodes, I'm going to check the extras, I'm going to fight that last elemental, and then... Right, let me see if I can find that event. Yeah, this is the artwork. This is the unique artwork. I loved this artwork when we were first in the underworld. Oh, so that's what that artwork looked like, because we always had menus in the way of it. Attic synthesis, hideout synthesis. Story trailer? What? Was this like the original tape trailer for this game? It's not in English, so we... model viewer. That's the credit song. Oh geez, this again. Oh geez, okay. Oh boy. I don't know how long the episodes are, but I'm going to see how many of the episodes we can do. But just like with Sophie 2, if they're in English, I want to read them all. So forgive me if we do for detouring, but I want to read these. If they've got English translation, I want to read them. So let us begin. Because I loved doing that in Sophie 2. There was so much background we got to learn. So let's begin. Hi everyone, I'm Yuri Noguchi, and I play Ryza. If I had to describe Ryza in a word, it would be independent. She skips out on her chores without a second thought, and she's a bit of a tomboy. But I really admire how she begins to really take the lead on things after she starts learning alchemy. She's always courageous no matter what's going on, and she always speaks her mind. It was so fun and refreshing to play that kind of character. There's a lot of comical scenes with Lent and Tao where you get to see lots of Ryza's personality, so I hope people pay attention to it if they play through the game again. I'm so happy I got a chance to voice the lead character for the first time. I'm going to play through the game again and again, and I hope everyone else enjoys Atelier Ryza as much as I did. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. Yuri Noguchi, aka Ryza, signing off. Bye bye. I think the person who had the longest speech was still Sophie's actress, which I get because she'd been voicing Sophie for so long, so of course she had a lot of things she wanted to say. I am Hitomi Owada, and I play the role of Claudia Valence. Did you enjoy the game? I really enjoyed playing Claudia and getting to see how she grew as a person throughout her interactions with the other characters. I haven't had a chance to play the game yet, so I'm really looking forward to see how the world actually looks as soon as I get a chance. I'll definitely play it sooner or later. I hope everyone can play through the game multiple times and enjoy every moment of it. Thank you very much. Jesus, Lent, your artwork. Hey there, I am Takuma Terashima. I play Lent. First off, I'd just like to thank everyone who brought the game. How did you like the latest Atelier game? I loved it. I don't know where I'll put it in my schedule. She looks at these. Yeah, I love looking at these. To be honest, I've never actually played any of the games in the Atelier series. But I've always admired them. I really like the atmosphere, and I think alchemists and alchemy are really cool. It's great that you don't just go out and battle, you get to create new things. I felt that ever since I was really young. I actually remember when I was the very first Atelier game was released, but for some reason I never played it. But in the end, I was still able to be a part of that world for the very first time. The game itself is just as wonderful as I imagined it would be.
So now I feel I'm ready to jump into the world head first. The Atelier series has a long-standing popularity, but I'm sure there will be some people playing it for the first time along with those who have played every other game. So I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who took the time to play this. I feel like this title is pretty different from all the others, don't you think? But did you have fun? I know I had fun in my role. I could imagine myself growing up in this village and uncovering all its secrets. It feels so huge, but at the same time small and intimate. Of course, for the characters taking part in the story events, everything that's happening is really important to them. So of course, I enjoyed reading through the story and getting to act out my part. Everything about the project was just really wonderful. Of course, even though I was involved in the game, I like to think I can still look at it objectively as a player. After seeing some footage of the gameplay, I'm sure I'm really going to grow to love it, so I'm definitely planning to play through it myself. I'm really looking forward to it. I want to say that I hope everyone's looking forward to it, but of course, if you're already hearing this, then you've already played it. So instead, I'll just say thank you. The game offers so many different challenges, and I hope that you have had fun, and that you keep looking forward to the next game in the series. Thank you so much. Alright, Yui Kondo. Hi, I'm Yui Kondo, and I play Tao. Congratulations on beating the game. Tao is actually the third role I've played in the Atelier universe. I also— What? You were Cory in Mysterious? What? What? Hang on a minute. I also played Canario in the Mysterious series and Mano in Ireland. It's really exciting to be a part of the first title in the new series, and to be honest, I totally didn't expect to get the role of a young boy. It's so different from my previous roles, and it was a lot of fun to be involved that way. You were Cory? Oh, I feel so bad, because I didn't like Tao. The story and atmosphere in this game feels so different from the other Atelier games I'm familiar with, but it was still really great, and while I was rehearsing my lines, I kept rereading ahead in other parts of the story because it was just so good. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, totally. Yeah, oh, I'm glad to hear that. I feel the same way. Anyway, Tao is one of the main party members, which is a role I haven't had since Cory. I just love getting the chance to record battle voices, because there's a great way to show off unique aspects of each character. For example, during the story, Tao can be really timid and a little negative, but in battle he gets to show his inner strength. I hope everyone power level Tao to make him even stronger. I am so sorry I didn't. So he can remain his timid negative self while smashing through all the enemies. Please raise Tao to the top for me. But you know, the Tao that I met when I arrived for recording was really different from his initial character bio that they sent me. It's hard to say what changed exactly, but he was still really interesting. But he was a little more incisive, so there was a little more humour to him. But the Tao I ended up delivering is just really a good, sweet kid that I hope people will fall in love with. I'll never look at Cory the same way again, yeah, right? I'm ready and waiting for my next chance to act out another character like this. Sorry, this is more for people standing outside the recording booth right now. That's right, I want to be in another Atelier game, as many times as you'll let me. Okay, Yui Kondo is cheeky as fuck. She's the cheekiest fuck. During the lines, already like saying, yeah, totally, like pretending to be us, and now this saying, I'm saying this to the people outside the booth put me in more Atelier games. She's cheeky as fuck. Okay, this is getting kinda long. Thank you so much for letting me take the time to hear me out, and for now, let me just say goodbye. Hey, I see some ruins over there and don't recognize. I better go take a look. I hope we can meet again someday. No, I know we'll meet again. Okay, see you later. Bye bye. Okay, Hirofumi Nojima. Hello there. My name is Hirofumi Nojima, and I play the role of Emperor Volma. I know Emperor may look young, but he's actually a seasoned veteran. I guess you could say he's the intelligent type. There are a few lines that let us know he's actually quite old, and so it was pretty easy to get into the role. After all, I'm not so young myself anymore, so it's much easier for me to play older characters. But I did make an effort to keep my voice sounding younger, so he's fairly close to my natural voice. As you saw, the game is a big sweeping fantasy story that I think anyone can enjoy. Personally, I enjoy chemistry. The whole concept of alchemy really appeals to me. I could totally understand how Emperor was feeling. I think this is the kind of game you can enjoy over and over again, so I hope everyone will play through it one more time from the beginning. Many thanks from me to you. Alright, Lila. Haruka Terai. I'm Haruka Terai, and I play Lila Desirous. Congratulations on beating the game. How did you like it? It was a pretty amazing adventure, wasn't it? Even though I haven't played it yet, I know you got to visit all kinds of different places. I just finished recording all my lines, so I'm looking forward to visiting all those areas. I can't wait to take on the Felucia and beat them all.
I also really love the cityscapes in all the Atelier games. They're always so pretty. So I can't wait to see what kinds of places I'll get to walk around in this one. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how pretty the lake is. Oh, some of you may know this already, but I play another character in the Atelier series. I appeared in every one of the Dusk series of games. I started off playing the part of a homunculus, and ultimately I got to play Homura, and who ended up joining your party. I played through the entire trilogy, and my favourite part was definitely the synthesizing. So I wouldn't know that, but that might be someone you recognise, One Man, then, if she voices someone in Dusk. I really enjoyed searching for items and gathering them up, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing that again. Speaking of which, I think it's really neat how Lilla's able to turn whatever she finds into food. That's a really cool aspect of her character. I want to play as her and see how she reacts to all the different items, picking up stuff that's edible and tossing away anything that's not. I just want to go around picking up everything. Also, Lilla mentions how you have to make weapons for each to make that fit each person. So I want to use synthesis to make the strongest party ever. I wonder how long that took for all you folks who've already beat the game. There's lots of detours you can take and mini-games you can play, so it usually takes me a really long time to beat it once. Okay, so Lilla's actress is a gamer. She actually plays these games. I'm not sure how long it took me to beat the Dusk games, but it feels like it took me forever. Maybe 30 hours for each one. I'm the type that likes to enjoy a game slowly. I savor the experience, searching for stuff and picking up everything up while I work towards the main goal. And even after you beat them, there's always extra stuff to do, right? I'm not sure if that's true for this one, but I'm looking forward to going on an adventure in this beautiful world. I always put myself in the shoes of whatever character I'm playing, and I'm sure the gradations in the game will be even prettier than before. Gradations? Sorry, I meant graphics. I was about to say, that's not a word. You can cut that part out, right? Anyway, the graphics are always pretty, but it gets even better once you breathe life into the characters and world. So I can't wait to experience it. Anyway, so now you finished the game and you're here. Great job. Which character was your favourite? It was Lilla. Oh, thank you. Oh, she's cheeky as well. I'm glad to hear you say that. I think Lilla is a great character. I can't wait to see how she interacts with Empel for myself. Ryza's also really cute though. Everyone's so cute and charming. I can't wait to go adventuring with them. Okay, I should wrap this up. I just finished recording, so I'm kinda tired and I may be a little scatterbrained. But thank you so much for listening. You're too kind for sticking with it the whole time, and thank you for playing the game. I hope you'll keep supporting the Atelier series. It's not really my place to say that, but thank you anyway. Carl! What? Carl, Mio, Lumbert, Samuel, Buzz, Moritz, fucking Lumbert, Agatha Key. I don't want to. Oh, do they matter? Do they matter? Hi, I'm Carl. Congrats on finishing the game. Did you have fun? Whether it's your first Atelier game or a lifelong fan, glad you picked this up. You didn't borrow this from a friend, right? In that case, thanks you for buying the game. Personally, I'm a huge game fan, so of course I'm familiar with the series. I haven't played this one yet, but I know how relaxed the world feels. It's a huge honor for me to get to be a part of it. I played a game of an ordinary dad who doesn't doesn't fight or anything, so he fits into this relaxed world pretty well. Thanks to that, I don't have to be too worried about the condition of my vocal cords. At my age, it wouldn't be strange for me to have a daughter Ryza's age, so I just imagined what it would be like if I really were her dad. I didn't have too many lines to record, but I enjoyed immersing myself in this world. I'd like you all to keep buying. I hate to ask that again, but you didn't borrow this, right? You brought it? Good, thank you. I bought the special edition with all the extra DLCs, Carl. I did you proud. So I hope you'll keep buying these games and tell all your friends how great they are, so the series can keep going. If possible, please give all your love to this title. That's it for Carl. Goodbye. Oh my god, this is tiny. I'm Yuko Nagashima, and I play Mio. To be honest, I really wanted to join in on everyone's adventures and explorations, but this was the first time I ever played a character like this, so I really enjoyed it, and I hope everyone else did too. Bye. Oh god. My name is Kenji Hamada, and I played the role of Lombard Valence. Thank you so much for playing Atelier Ryza. In this game, I got to play the role of a father, when you have a young child who's getting ready to leave the nest. It's happy and sad at the same time. I was pretty independent myself when I was younger, but this time I had to think carefully about how a parent would feel about their child going through that. I kind of disappear around the middle of the story, so I wasn't sure if I should read through the rest of the story to that point. Part of me wanted to save it for when I play the game myself, but my character does show up again near the end, so I had no choice but to read through the whole thing. Anyway, if you're listening to this, then you've already beaten the game. I guess we can't really talk about which parts were the most fun, but I hope people will write me some letters about it. Thank you for listening.
I'm Takashi Matsuyama, and I play the role of Samuel Marsling. Samuel is the type of guy who's never nice to people, so when people are nice to him, he doesn't know how to react. He's not a bad person exactly, debatable, but he has his own way of doing things. So he does say and do bad things to others, and hurts them both physically and emotionally. In a way, I think he's kind of similar to me, so I'd like to take this chance to apologize on his behalf. Sorry, and I hope you enjoyed the game. Boss. Hello, I am Yohei Azakami, and I play Boss Brunnen. It was an honor being part of this new Atelier game. To be honest, I've never played any of the games myself, but it seems like they always try to do something a little different. In this case, the story especially hit home for me. It really, how can I put it? It's all about youth. I love how everyone has their own dreams and departs on an individual journey. Reading the script made me want to do the same thing. For Boss, when I saw the character design, I immediately assumed he was a bad guy. The description referred to him as a kind of defiant son. I don't get that kind of role often, so I assumed he would be a really pathetic character. But as I read through it, he wasn't the high-pitched sycophant I was expecting. He was more like a schoolyard bully, and near the end of the story, he has a complete change of heart, just like the bully in that movie with the famous blue robotic cat. What the fuck is he talking about? Most people don't get that reference, but regardless, I think my character grows the most out of everyone. During my performance, I tried to always see things from Boss's perspective, and he kept growing and maturing through meeting new people, so he obviously has a lot of potential. One thing I realized whilst I was playing him is that most people don't really change just because of their environment. They change because of the people they're around. Boss fought with his friends a long time ago, so he ended up alone. Then he became friends with Lumber, who he tended to push around. But finally, he realized he was basically still alone, and decided to allow himself to change. In the end, I think he's a pretty honest and all-around good guy. So it's more about the people than environment. I'm really happy I got a chance to play the role of Boss Brunnen. Thank you. Oh jeez, here we go. I am Ryota Takeshi, and I play Moritz. Okay, so Moritz does seem really bossy, but he cares so much about his son, and he ends up spoiling him. You could sum him up by saying he's a busy businessman who does everything for his son. I guess I'd also describe him as a serial entrepreneur. I'm not a normal Kanzai person. Basically, I'm nothing like Moritz Brunnen, who's aggressive about pursuing business. But I'm really happy getting the chance to play a role that's completely opposite to me. The entire recording process was a lot of fun. I hope everyone was able to see how Moritz is both really aggressive, but also a completely doting parent. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, he was just an arsehole, but what, sure. Alright, Lumber, have a short one. Good. Hello, everyone. I'm Fukushi Oshiri, and I play Lumber. So did you like the game? Actually, everyone in my family is a huge Atelier fan, so I bet they all beat the game and are listening to this right now. I'm really happy I got to be a part of this title. The recording process was super fun. Thank you so much. Bye. Yeah, bye, you fuck. Now on to my, one of the better girls. I'm Masumi Asano, and I play the role of Agatha Harmon. Agatha is basically a professional warrior. They call her a guardian, right? To me, she seemed really graceful and level-headed, but she still had moments where she got to see a more adorable side of her. While I was playing her, I tried to find ways to show her more feminine side in bits and pieces. I remember one line where she mentions how she used to wear skirts, which made me think about how old she was when she was still wearing them, and how she would have looked in them. I really wish we'd gotten to see that. I bet she was really cute. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you very much. Alright, Kilo. Hello, I'm Shiori Mikami, and I play Kilo Shinas. Congratulations on beating the game! The Atelier series has such a long history, and I'm really happy I got to be part of it. Kilo is the type of person that doesn't really show her emotions, so I had to try hard to keep them suppressed for every single line. Now that I get to act like my natural self, it's kind of a relief. Oh, and the singing? I got to sing with Miss Terai's character Lilla. Right, I got to sing with Lilla. Ah, that's a spoiler, isn't it? It's okay to talk about it, is it? Great. So when I first heard the sample, it sounded so fantastical. I don't get a chance to sing something like that too often, so I hope it came out okay. Oh, but there's a dimensional rift, you know, so I hadn't actually got to sing it yet. But if you did hear it already somehow, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you could feel all the soul we put into it. Anyway, I don't want to ruin your image of Kilo too much, so I'll wrap this up. I hope you'll play through the game over and over again. Thank you. Okay. Right, we've got... continued.
Uh-oh. Looks like everyone is here. What's going on, Empol? Well, I've heard a rumor you might be interested in. When we were at the Holy Tower of Piona, do you remember the ruins we saw along the way? You mean the one built on the side of the valleys? No, not those. Ones we saw before that. They were set away from the main road a bit. Oh, I think I know the ones you're talking about, yeah. Apparently, a powerful monster has appeared in that area. Some travelers have even came under attack. What were the travelers doing there? Isn't the place forbidden? Other travelers aren't concerned with what your village forbids, not to mention those who enjoy defying norms. People like you, in other words. I guess I can't really deny that. Anyway, considering the location, it could be related to alchemy in some way, which is why I'm bringing it up. Oh, okay, you've sold me. Let's go check it out. Powerful monster, huh? Trying to put my training to the test. After the Ravaging Queen, this will be nothing. I'm sure you'll force me to go anyway, so fine. Alright, let's prepare and head to the ruins. I was gonna say, there's probably like 1,000,001 little things you can find if you glance around, but I think it's talking about this over at Limerick Hill. Yes. Alright, final elemental. I wonder if this one's going to be stronger because it's new after you beat the game, or whether this one will be around level 55 as well. Hi. Oh, it's going to have a cutscene introducing it as well. There it is. I sense a powerful presence. It's an elemental. Never heard of anything like that before. These ruins may very well have this power to summon monsters. So it was called here from somewhere else, like the dragon? Certainly possible, but the truth is still shrouded in mystery. Regardless, if it's here and it's hurt people, we have to do something about it. Is everyone ready? Yeah. I can do it. Alright, let's go. Please be level 55 like the others. Okay, we could do this. I have faith. Ooh, God. Alright. That's what I like to see. They're messing around with me to get that boost. Give me just 1 second. Sorry about that, I had something in my throat and I just need to go clear it out. I know you resist this, but still we're trying to do a number on your stun. And then after this, we'll start the episodes. And if we don't finish them today, we'll definitely get through them tomorrow. So I imagine all of them won't be that long. Expect the fact there's 5 of them. I think they'll be real short, if I'm honest. Oh shit, Claudia. Oh, because you let it go. Got it. I was like, why didn't it go? It's because I let it go. You have to actually, like, convert and then use something. If you let it go, it undoes it. Got it. Try and lower that resistance a little bit. That stun lasts a while. Just reapply some buffs. I mean, we can break the resistance and break the guard again. We've got it. Oh shit, well now we're gonna have to. Come on. Oh, come on! It's so close! There we go. Oh, that was a vicious fucking spam attack. I'm amazed. Yeah, we got it. That was a hell of a spam. We also got a gold trophy, Element Slayer. That was like all or nothing, kind of just spam the shit and get that guard broke. That was really strong. And yet you were stronger. You've all grown so much. Well, considering everything we've been through. Well, apparently it was connected to alchemy. It possessed a gathering bottle. Oh, right. I wonder what it was doing with that. No idea. It certainly didn't create the bottle itself. It's gotten it from somewhere else. Perhaps somewhere within these very ruins. Or maybe from wherever it was summoned from. Whatever the case, there's no way of determining the truth. Really? Well, at least we beat it, and we got our bottle trouble. We got a bottle for our trouble, so let's head back to the Atelier for now. So wait, what does it say on like your main objectives? Oh, it's just saying, hey, you can do whatever now. They discuss the future plans, and although they're going to go their separate ways, they're going to meet up again in the future. Ryza swears to always going to be working hard as an alchemist. They're at Atelier Ryza. Alright, so that's our final boss of the main story as far as I'm concerned. Let's see this scene when we return to the Atelier, save, and then start those episodes. How, of all the ways to get my hands on a gathering bottle, it's the same as the bottles you use? Doesn't seem any different, what I can tell. Well, I guess we'll find out when we use it. Oh, so we got Underworld, I'm guessing is the one we just picked up. Alright. I'll experiment with that when I eventually start trying to platinum all these games. Which will be a while yet, because obviously after this I'm going to go to, Sophie 1. Like, once I've beat every game, I'm going to go back to Sophie 1 and start my completion list. So it'll be like 100% Sophie 1, then Furious, then Lydian Suli, then Sophie 2, then this. So it'll be a while yet, but we'll get there. Alright. To title. Let's start an episode. And see, if these episodes are all like 20 minutes to half an hour, then I might be able to try and get them all done. So we've got Atelier Claudia, we've got True Strength, Interwoven Fate, The End of the Adventure and Beyond, and then the beach episode, Ever Summer Queen and the Secret Island. So let's work our way through it. And Ryza can do alchemy. Claudia's motivated to create something for herself. Being long and hard, she decides to try a hand at cooking. You can control Claudia throughout this event. So this is sort of like Atelier Plachta. I never really thought about it before, but... being with everyone here, I feel like... loading. Hey, no, this is how I left my atelier, come on! I want to learn how to do something new. I left it looking better than this, come on. What's going on? You got a super serious look on your face. Huh? I do? You can tell me if something's bothering you. It's not like that exactly, it's just I have something on my mind. I'm all ears. Well, everyone else has been working hard to get better at something, right? Example, Tao's been working with Empor to learn how to read those books of his. And of course you're learning alchemy. Everyone's making progress little by little. Lilla and Len, I guess, just don't count when I say everyone. I don't have anything like that, so I've been feeling a little jealous. But you have your flute, right? I don't feel like that's quite the same. I see. Well, do you want to give alchemy a try? Alchemy? Sorry, I don't think I've got what it takes for that. Oh. Although, thinking of alchemy, I'd like to learn how to cook. After all, it's quite similar to alchemy. I can make a couple things, but I don't cook very often, so I'm not too confident. Oh, that's great. Okay, let's get cooking. I'm not an expert by any means, but I do cook a lot, so I can definitely give you some pointers. Huh? You mean you'll teach me? Oh, thank you, Ryza. Seriously though, I'm really not that good. What kind of dish did you have in mind? Oh, I have no idea. I just want to cook, honestly. Well, if you're gonna do it, let's do it right. Let's make something worth giving as a gift. Oh, it might be nice to make something for Empor. He's done so much for us. I'd like to give him a token of my appreciation. That's a fantastic idea. That being said, I don't have the first clue what to make him. Why don't we ask Lilla? They're attached at the hip. I'm sure she knows what he likes. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll go talk to her. In this episode, Ryza's Atelier is still your home base. You can save and load using the desk. And you run around as... oh, this... okay. This is so weird. Because... oh, so that's your party for this. It's just the girls, which is perfect because that's how I always have them. And they're preset to 35. What's their equipment? Oh, what's our gathering tools for this bit? Nothing. Okay, got it. Jesus, these were not the stats I had when I was level 36. I can say that in confidence. This is not the stats I had when I was level 36. I digress. Hi, Tao. See, for food, well, I always seem stagnant on sweets and things. Oh, yeah, separate save file for Claudia. Oh, that's her attack animation. A little wave. How much is on the farm? Oh, okay, no, the farm exists, but all the extras don't yet. Oh, actually, the pizza oven exists. You want to know what Empor likes? Yes, I want to give him a gift, so I'm trying to decide what to cook. In that case, a dessert is the only option. Give him something sweet and you'll win his heart. That's true. It seems like I'm always seeing him eat different kinds of sweets. I need to try and rein him in, but he just makes excuses for why he needs his sweets. But there's all different kinds of sweets, right? What exactly should I make? Donuts are his favourite. Oh, my man. There's one he likes that you can't get here. I forgot the name. What kind of donut is it? All I remember is that the taste of it was like a weird combination of sugar and medicine. Ugh. Oh, and it was covered in a really gaudy cream, which was also way too sweet. Gaudy? Oh, that's a weird description for food. If it has gone that far, it was like a poison to me. Honestly, I have no desire to ever try it again. But I don't mind helping. I guess I can do something nice for Emple once in a while. Thank you very much, Lila. So let's start by gathering the materials. First, we have to make the dough. Oh, but I only know how to make normal dough. I don't think it's sweet enough. So you need sweeter dough, huh? What should we add to that to do that? Speaking of, I should mention Emple being proud of the fact that the shape of it is like a donut, but how it's prepared is different. Oh, what's different about it? Something about how it doesn't use as much oil, and how it's more like baking than frying. But whenever I had it, it definitely seemed like it was fried, not baked. So there's some special trick to making it. It sounds like there was some kind of bread dessert. In that case, I think I've got just the thing. Oh, that's why the pizza oven is here. That's why it's actually relevant. What do you think? It's technically a pizza oven, but still. Yeah, I think this could work. I'll make the donuts nice and fluffy. I'm not sure if it's ideal, but I'm sure it will turn out fine. Alright, then it's settled. We'll use this. Now we need to figure out how we to add the sweetness to the dough. You can now cook. Use the pizza oven to cook. It's the same as alchemy. Instead of alchemy, you have a cooking level. Now you to create new items. Jesus. You can make flour, honey, sugar, and sweet dough. So is the idea we're just trying to make dough, and then eventually we'll make dough B and dough C? Of course. Oh, and because like your version of the Atelier is here. Oh, you can go all the way to Mount Delta? Oh, well, you have to go explore it first, but because your like alchemy point is here, the box is only here. What's Len have to say? It worked, but it'd be nice to cook it on a nice meat. No, it's not what it's for. It's for donuts and pizza. Alright, let's go back to the forest. Are the enemies upscaled? Alright. No. No. Imagine whacking a rock with a flute and actually breaking the flute, and they're breaking the rock and not the flute. This is such an easy transition for me because it's exactly my party, other than the fact that Ryza is now a neutral instead of an attacker. Oh, how big is our basket? Okay, not the biggest. I was just seeing what we can do. God, I hope in the Emperor and Lila one, I get to be in control of Lila on the field. Like, come on, that'd be cool. Some wood. Some tree. Nice.
That sound effect just sounded like she just punched it. It sounds like it's just a punch sound effect. Come on. So is this whole story arc just going to be making pizza for Empel, but you get to run around with Claudia for a bit? I hope there's a little bit more than that. I know it's a little DLC, like mini adventure sort of thing, but you're kind of weak otherwise. But at the same time, like I said, I've got lesser expectation just because there's 5 of them. If it was 1, then yeah, I'd expect a little more. But because there's 5 of them, it's like there's no way they're all going to be big. Oh, I was like, oh, Romi's here. Maybe like she will be like the replacement merchant. No, she's just got stuff that you can hoard. How's the basket looking? 18. But hey, look, Romi's here. She gets a cameo. I wonder if Romi will show up in the later games. I know she's just kind of like a real throwaway side questy character, but still. Alright, let's head back. It's weird seeing Ryza standing around as an NPC. It's like if like in Plachta you met Sophie and you got to like run up to Sophie as an NPC. Like it's just kind of weird. Oh god, we're back to this. We don't have any supplements. She's not an alchemist. Oh, that's a cute animation with hearts and music instead. They didn't do new artwork. They didn't do new artwork. That's just her model. Come on. That's just her in-game model. They didn't do new artwork for her. So this is how you make honey? Not making, exactly. More like preparing. Basically the same as alchemy materials, just with a different method. That's true. For some reason I assumed alchemy would be totally different. Nope, cooking and alchemy have different methods, but the foundation's the same. I may have stolen that from Empel. Okay, now for the seasoning. What do we need next? I wonder what the others are going to be like. It's like, is Tao going to be like, he's going to have a book level and you use books to somehow end up with items? I imagine Lent would be the one that would be more combat focused. You know, maybe I should make something for Lent and Tao too. What, those two? Nah, they don't need anything. Ryza. Are you sure? But they help out a lot too, don't they? I mean, they do, but we will help each other out, you know? It's just how it's always been. It's kind of weird to give each other presents if it's not for a birthday or anniversary or whatever. Besides, Lent doesn't really like sweets. Why are you laughing? Did I say something funny? No, no reason. Come on, now you gotta tell me.
Alright, now we need sugar, so we need nectar rock, so we're going to be heading out. Yeah, let's go make the sugar first before we make... I know we can make Dehya, but no, I'll do it properly. So we need to look out for nectar rock. Oh, that's soft sand. I was like, Ashen sand, that's new as well. Yes. Sandstone, okay. This is cute. After all like the chaos, like, you know, stopping the underworld and like saving the island and all this, the first DLC is just kind of like, yeah, let's just make some shit. You know, let's just make some cooking. But it's also very fitting for Claudia. She's not like the adventurer type in the same way Ryza is. What she'd want to do is make people happy. So making something nice for Empor for as thank you, yeah, it makes sense. Oh, some potatoes. Actual food things, that'll help. I got a feeling the Nectar Rock's going to be at the Malpor, so I'm going to start heading that general direction. I'm going to fight this thing though, because it's a different enemy. That the team will then rinse. It's very clear they don't want combat to be at the forefront of this. Like, no, this is Claudia's adventure. It should be cuter. It should be getting food. It's just, you know, ingredients are ingredients. God, I wish I had the speed boost shoes though. I feel so much slower without them. As I say, like, the game's just, I'm guessing, just not gonna let me go, like, to the volcano or shit like that. Like, there's no reason to, the game won't let you. It's just gonna be these locations. I wonder if there's gonna be any unique areas in any of the DLCs. Because that was fun in Plachta. Even if it was kind of basic, it was the fact that it was still a new area that once you beat it got added. And I know that's kind of the whole point of the beach episode. Once we do the beach episode, that area gets added to the map in the main game. Go around. It's such a long run. Like, just to check the maple to see if we can find some nectar rock there. It's just a trek. You know what's not going to help as well? When Ryza 3 comes out and we get to use like, the wind skates and like just like deja vu drift around the entire map, it's going to be even harder to come back to these games because I'll feel even slower. Like you look at the trailers and like you can dart and skate around like Shadow the fucking Hedgehog in Ryza 3 with the new version of the wind shoes. I'm pretty sure we get all kinds of sugary sweet materials around here. And if Empel's donut really is that sweet, we'll all need all the help we can get. If we boil down enough sweet materials, I bet we can get something sweeter than honey. That sounds perfect, but do you think it'll work? Sweet foods tends to mix well with very different ingredients. I'm sure it'll be fine. The donut of his really is painfully sweet. I guess it'll be okay. I got a recipe in mind already, although it may be more alchemy than natural cooking. Anyway, let's head back to the Atelier and test it out. You can now make maple honey. Oh. Bit too big for Claudia, got it. Or is it that our basket's full? No? Okay, it's just these things are a bit too big for her. But then to be fair, after we got the axe, I almost never used like the basic bop ever again. So I might not have realised that yeah, they did just become that way as time went on. That's nectar fruit. Actually, that might have been what we were after. I might have misread when I said nectar rock. It might not have been nectar rock. It might have been nectar rock, but we'll see. Alright, let's head back then if we're out of space. Yeah, no, we do need nectar rock. I just never found it. Sweet dough B and sweet dough C. So yeah, you can make alternate variants. What's up? Well, I managed to make the dough, but it's still not sure about it. Looks fine to me. Lila, you said donut apparently doesn't use much oil, right? That's kind of bothering me. No, why is that? If it's not soft and fluffy, can you really call it a donut? That's true. You can't call something a donut just because it's shaped like one. In back, it certainly was soft. Not hard at all, like say a cracker might be. I knew it. So I think I should take an extra step. I want to try an idea I came up with. Hey, Lila, what do you and Empel usually eat? That's a rather sudden question. Well, you two travel a lot, right? I was just curious what you eat on the road. Oh yeah, that's actually an interesting question. Well, nothing out of the ordinary, just whatever we find laying around. Huh? Wait. Of course, Empel is always coming up with excuses to buy sweets whenever we travel. I can imagine him doing that. Desserts don't exactly occur naturally, but it's important to be frugal whenever you travel. As long as I watch him like a hawk, Empel does genuinely eat the same things as me. So you're saying if you took your eyes off him for a second, he wouldn't? It sounds like Empel has it pretty tough. Now I really want to make him a nice yummy donut. I'll make the donut base. Plain donut A, plain donut B. Proceed with cooking? No, let's up the quality. There's another recipe? What? To make plain donut C? Ooh. It was like a donut, but I get it right. It doesn't even look the part, but it tastes what really matters. Okay, let's cut off a couple pieces. You okay? Did I mess it up? So you messed up, but it's really not what you were going for. Let me try. I bet she's gonna like it because it's not that sweet. Lila, wait! Ah, it's so sweet. Are you sure this is how it's supposed to taste? I think it's fine. As I said, it really was painfully sweet. Seriously? Seriously, but don't forget, the original donut also had cream on it. I know how to make whipped cream in theory, but it's never done it myself, so I'm not sure. You know, I've been wondering, how do you know so many recipes for things you've never actually made? I used to read cookbooks all the time when we travelled, and people used to teach me sometimes. But I've never had the right tools on the road, so I never got to put it to use. Even if we were staying in a town, Father would never let me cook. Oh, then, what have you been eating till now? It depends. Mostly we eat at restaurants, but sometimes local chefs would cook for us. And on the road, we would mainly just have preserves, dried food, that kind of thing. Lila's diet is one thing, but you're on a whole other level. My diet is totally ordinary comparison. Yeah, I'll make whipped cream. Can we make whipped cream? Yes, we can. We're just going through the motions. Oh, actually, can we? Okay, no. Oh, barely. Oh, it's still raining, but I made whipped cream. I did it! I made whipped cream! Whipped cream! There we go. What, is something wrong with it? No, not wrong exactly. I'm just not sure it's the right colour. Huh? But I thought whipped cream was supposed to be white. Oh, but Emple's favourite donut. Right, it's gaudy cream. What made it gaudy exactly? Remember right? It was used some kind of berry. It's called moon, something or other. It's popular with fairies, I remember that. Anything like that? Neither have I. I see. Maybe Tao's heard of it. He seems to know the most useless stuff. That's a bit harsh, Ryza. Although, you're right that you might be able to help. Alright, let's go ask him and see how it goes. What's it with you guys sneaking around like this? Never mind that, we have a question for you, so prepare yourself. You ever heard of a berry called moon something or other? Moon something or other? Is that all the information you have to go on? Sorry, that's all we've got. Seriously, nothing else at all? Hey, I have an idea. Really? Keep in mind, my specialty is archaeology. I'm no botanist. I think I've read something like a book at home. I'm not even sure though. I mean, it's called a moonlight berry or something similar at least. The flower blooms at night and withers during the day, which is how it got its name. That's it, that's gotta be it. So where does it grow? That I don't know, but if you think about it logically, if it goes somewhere obvious, you notice it whether day or night. But if it grows in hard to find areas, an overgrown forest would be the perfect place. Forest? Then maybe we can find it in Pixie Forest. You're like a real detective, Tal. I'm very impressed. Don't be impressed just yet, I could be totally wrong. Should I head home and double check? Maybe later. We're kind of in a hurry. That's so weird. Forest clearing. Is that behind us or ahead of us? Ahead of us, okay. So to the den. Straight across. I want to see what happens if I try and go towards the volcano.
considering it's not part of the DLC, or if the game just tells me to stop. Or it's just blocked off. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. I was expecting like one of the girls to go like, whoa, 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 we're not a full party of 6. Let's not go to the volcano or the manor. You know, let's not go somewhere too dangerous. Stick together and everything. Oh, I just realized I need to actually organize my tier list and figure out where I'm going to put Ryza. I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going to put it, but I still need to kind of think about it a little bit. What items have we got? Just a bomb? What do you got? Oh, you got a non-random smoke. And what do you got? The healing item. So I think I'm gonna put this like just below Liddy and Suli. So I'll put it like 4th, I think. Oh, okay, it literally marks where we're looking. Oh, up on the stage. Or just before it. On this is it. No, but it doesn't help to get some more shrooms. Alright, let's get up on the stage whilst we get past like the 1,000,001 pixies that are here. These. Hey, do you think this is it? It looks sort of like... Let me take a look. I guess it could be. But it's not just the same... But it's not the same colour as the cream. Is it not? Well, I can't say my memory is crystal clear, and maybe the berry has nothing to do with it. The colour of the berry might necessarily have been the colour of the cream. Oh, well, let's bring a few of them now. Like, Lilla's getting more into this than anyone else. She wants this to be perfect for Emble. Right, now the real pain, we came back to try and find it again. Oh, Ryza. Oh, that was more of a... Oh, Ryza. Okay, got it. Alright, past the Knights of the Round. Excuse me, gents. Oh. I think this is it. It sort of seems like it. Take a look. I guess it could be. Yay, thank goodness. Don't celebrate yet. I just said it could be. I'm not saying it's 100%. Huh? The cream's colour was similar to this, but I can say for sure. But if the colour's the same, it's a good sign. Either way, we should take it with us. Well, it's called Moonlight Berry. What's the other one called? Moonberry. Jeez. Gee, I wonder. This does make me wonder if there were ingredients in the main game I missed because they only showed up at night, and I usually did my adventuring during the day.
Oh wait, do I have to go talk to Tao first? And use the berries to make whipped cream. Oh, I need more. Fuck, damn it. Damn it, I put... Actually, what do I need? 'Cause I actually need a fair bit of shit here and everywhere, right? I need oil, I need fragrant honey tree, which is at the Malp. You're just on the way, so if I look around you'll get it. Water's fine. Spice is fine, so we can use honey. Oh yeah, moon cream. Moonlight cream. It's a test. It's a fucking test. And then we'll make moonlight. Alright, so we need to just go... Actually no, it'll just be find a tree. Two, three. I kind of want one more to be on the safe side. Okay, I had to say out loud only one more, and then the game's like, alright, here's your fucking one. No, I kind of want a bit of comfort room game. I was hoping to get a few more than that. Come on. Come on. That was mean. I said out loud, yeah, one more. Like, I was more just saying, like, in general, like, one more horde, not one more, like, just one. Fuck. Alright, maybe we'll find another tree over here. Mumble grumble, mumble grumble. Well, another tree that we're allowed to harvest. Oh, whilst we're doing this, something else I hope changes at some point in the future of this series. They've had it for, like, since forever that you hold R1 or at least hold a button to sprint. If you're not holding it, you move slower. I would like to propose to the devs flipping it, making it that your default is sprinting, and then when you hold the button, you slow down. Oh, we got Nectar Rock. Just because I never don't. And it just feels like it's an unnecessary button if it's always being pressed. I'd rather it either be an option or literally just flip it. Make it so we're always in sprint mode and holding it between like a full-on walk mode. So if you're doing something more precise, you can just hold a button for it. Or a sneak mode if they want to do stealth. Right, we need to find a... Oh wait, we can't break that. We needed to find a particular branch. Can I harvest this? No, I need an axe. Ryza, I need to borrow your axe. Claudia would be one of those people where if you put an axe in her hand, would actually be kind of terrifying. Unintentionally, but she'd be terrifying. And she literally was like, oh wow, you've given me an axe? Let me just swing it around. No! Be careful! Yeah, we just straight up can't go across that. Even though there's enemies there still, they still spawn them in, but hey, at least we got our Nectar Rock. I need to find a thinner tree, one that can be bonked down. Maybe in the next area then.
To be fair, like, if you're going for, like, if you know what you're doing, you could probably get this DLC done super quick. You could probably speedrun it if you just know exactly what ingredient you need to get and just beeline for them before you do any cutscenes. It's just crossed my mind. It's like, all we're doing is making the perfect donut, and then I'll probably end it. It's just more of like a fun little side thing where you play as Claudia for a bit. There's some maple leaves. Oh, I just realised there's no interactable barrels nearby, so we're not going to hear her version of barrel. And we also got some fragrant honey trees. Some maple barks as well. Alright, let's look around a bit more before we leave. There's only one bit. Oh, come on. I was like, oh, that looks thin enough to break without having to need an axe. The game's like, no, this is a later area, bitch. You gotta go get it. We do need some water, though. And I think it's the difference between the good ending and the bad ending is getting the moonlight and moonberry. It's the whole, were you actually paying attention or not? My berry whipped cream is officially done. It looks absolutely perfect. This is that gaudy colour I remember. So all we have to do is put that cream on the donut and we're good? Indeed, that's all that's left. Great, let's do it. Okay, here goes. Something to do with anything, but I've been wondering... Lilla, what's up with you and Empel? Oh god, Ryan's gonna be like, are you two a thing, or... I don't understand the question. What's not to understand? You're always together, right? Is something going on there? Oh, I've been wondering that too. Empel's... She turned around quick. Empel's goal is to right the wrongs of past alchemists. But my motivation is different. It is true that Empel and I have been travelling together, but... it's only because we share a common desire to stop the dangers facing this world. If I had to describe it, we're simply two people who work well together. And that's all. Yeah, is that really all there is to it? What do you mean? Sure, you have that big lofty goal and all, but is it really your only reason? I can't help but wonder what Empel would say about that. Come on, knock it off. None of that matters. Let's just finish this up. Oh, so you... And she's like, shut the fuck up, both of you. That's what that is. Yeah, that's why she keeps on turning back. Like, she, like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're almost there. Let's give it our best. That was absolutely a shut the fuck up. The ultimate donut. Oh, we can make this while we're at it. War powder. No. She really does crush on him and I love it. Yeah, it's cute that you can tell. She tries, but no, you can tell. Maybe I actually had this before. Oh, really? I figured you'd probably have every kind of food and knew about it. No, not at all. Although I guess maybe I've had it without realizing it. Even if it's your favorite dish, most people don't know the actual ingredients. Not to mention, the seasoning rarely takes center stage in everyday cooking. It's not quite the same, but I really do enjoy watching Ryza do her alchemy. Cooking together and talking like this is so much fun. Yeah, totally. I guess I just love making stuff, you know? Yeah, I like that part too, but it's just... I've never had friends I could talk to like this. I just love how we're all working towards a common goal. Cloudy, when you put it that way, I suppose I understand the sentiment. I feel like I'm missing something. I'm like, wait. I was expecting it to come up with a recipe saying, hey, put them together. It's like, no, do I need a better thing? Where have I talked to Empel? Oh, these eyes were something sweet. Oh, it must have been my imagination. Like it's like he's fucking under us. No, okay, so we do actually need to make it. I don't have the recipe, so clearly it's in one of these. Oh, it's just quality boost. Oh, I need more dough. Ugh. I need more flour. So I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm gonna... some natural oil as well. Ugh. Let me go find some natural oil. Not gonna be 100% certain where. I know it's in the area, but I can't remember what it was we broke to start getting it. There's no way I'm going to get all the episodes done. If all of them are going to be give or take around this size, there's no way we're getting them all done. Oh, trees, got it. In this stream. So there'll be another Atelier Ryza-esque stream to cover the rest of the episodes yet. So tomorrow might be a bit shorter then, in that sense. Depending on how long the rest of them actually are. And then I'll give my final thoughts. But in general... to talk whilst we're doing this and gathering bits and pieces. My general thoughts with Ryza, I really fucking liked it. It's hard to compare to some of the Mysterious games just because it's the first one of this saga, it's the first one of this style. Whilst like the Mysterious games, like if I compared it only to Sophie 1, I prefer this over Sophie 1. But do I prefer this over Lydian Suli? No. But Lydian Suli has the natural advantage of it has establishment from the previous games to work off, whilst this is a new building, so it doesn't. So I'm curious to see what Ryza 2 and then ultimately Ryza 3 do with said establishment now it's been made to take it further, to see if I end up preferring it more or not. And see if it surpasses either Lydia Suli or Sophie 2.
Hey, Romy, have you got oils? You do. See, this is why we keep you around. I keep on going to the hideout by default. It's a hard habit to break. I need to go to the clearing. They should put a warp right in front of it. I mean, come on. Plain donut B. I've got sweet dough C. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out as we go. It's like a little puzzle box, this sim quest. That's what it's reminding me of. Aha! I had a feeling it was like it's gonna be B is gonna be for the other thing, so C will be this. The other one will be just for just the moon cream, whilst this is for the moonlight cream. We've made the donut. We'll bump up the quality a little bit, sure. Oh, they look nice, damn it. Alright, let's hope this is what we were looking for. All done, what do you think? Looks pretty good. Yeah, let's go give it to Empol. What is this? The whole gang is here. Ta-da! Guess what this is? Huh? Is that an Ashra donut? Oh, is that what it's called? I don't think I'd ever heard the name. We wanted to give you something to thank you for everything you've done, so I hope you like it. My word, I feel truly blessed right now. Well then, with your permission. I never imagined I'd run across these donuts here. It's a specialty in a single shop in the capital city. I haven't been there in forever, and Lila always hated when I ate it, so I've been craving it. The color of the cream is a bit different from what I'm used to. You said you made this? I'm impressed at the recreation. The cream is by the trifling matter. Sorry, it really isn't anything much. So, how is it? Well, what's wrong? You were so excited before, and now you're like a cold fish. It's not bad or anything, it's just not what I was expecting. What do you mean? How should I put it? It's indistinct. It lacks a certain punch. Punch? You want punch from a donut? Hey guys, what's up? I smell something sweet. Oh, welcome, welcome. There's still some left. Let's all enjoy it together. Are you sure? I thought this was your favourite dessert. I'm not so selfish I'd deny you the pleasure. Everyone should know it tastes amazing taste. So let me guess, if depending on what ingredients you make and how you make it and how good the quality, he'll probably say different things, huh? And if you make him moonlight or moon. Well, it looks pretty damn good, don't mind if I do. I'm not sure what this is about, but sure, I'll try it. Oh, the music's gone quiet. This is super good! Yeah, it really is. I don't taste anything like it here in the village. It's got a mild sweetness. It's absolutely perfect. Yes, it matches my palate perfectly. Oh, because it's not sweet enough. Oh, wow, did I really make this? Because he likes it so sweet that his gums dry up. Meanwhile, everyone else is more reasonable. I don't understand what any of you are saying. The donut has no flavour. What are you talking about? It's way tasty. Yeah, I don't really love sweet stuff, but that donut was really good. Empel, your sense of taste is just out of whack. What? You think I'm out of whack? Then everyone in the capital is out of whack. Uh-oh, he's digging his heels. Don't be so narrow-minded, Empel. Only a very small minority of people enjoy this donut of yours, even in the capital. Ugh. Well, I think it's amazing. Our cooking efforts was a huge success. I'm glad it turned out okay. Empel didn't like it, but I'd like to try again someday. Oh, sure, let's try and make something amazing again. Yes, please. I want to work together with everyone again. End of episode. That's a DLC episode. Just make a fucking donut for Empel and he doesn't even fucking like it. The little shit. Claudia, and bonuses have been unlocked. New recipes and new photo mode poses. Oh dear. So has it got like a star next to it or something? No, it just says... Oh, no, it says end of episode. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap it here. And then next time, to end our journey with Ryza, we're going to do the rest of these episodes. So we've got Lents, we've got Towels, we've got Best Girl and Empel, and we've got the beach event. But before we go, in case, because you know, it's just the DLC stuff, I should at least wrap up my thoughts on the main game. Ultimately, yeah, I really fucking love this game. This game is super fucking fun. Ryza is such a like, she's similar to Sophie in a sense they're both kind of extroverted, but it's amazing how different the extroverted is between them. I like, because Sophie is kind of like, she will go do anything, but she needs a little nudge. Ryza is just a thrill adventure seeker and always wants to do whatever. But the way they mature has been different as well, because Ryza has learnt to like take different priorities, while Sophie is always permanently, I must help everyone any way I can mode. To go to my tier list though, I'll start from the bottom and work up to remind anyone who's new, who doesn't know. From the very bottom with my Gust tier list, we've got Knights of Azure 2, then it's Atelier Ryza, then it's Blue Reflection, then it's Sophie 1, then it's Knights of Azure, then I'm placing Atelier Ryza, then it's Lydian Suli, Sophie 2, and Blue Reflection Second Light at the very top. That list will continue to expand as I go forward, but ultimately, I really enjoy this game. It's super fun, and I can see what they're working towards with it. And I'm really curious to see what Ryza 2 does with it, especially because I'll get to play it natively on PS5, so I get to see some of the fidelity and quality cleanup. Because this game's beautiful on its own, but I'm curious to see how far it gets pushed when it's on native PS5 hardware. But, like I said, that's not technically the very end. We've still got 4 more episodes to do, so join me tomorrow when we'll be doing just that, and then properly finishing Atelier Ryza. Afterwards, since we'll, absolutely be done by the end of tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday can be spent going through Modern Warfare 2 Remastered's Veteran campaign, which I have far less experience with, so will probably suffer for a long while, which is why I'm giving it 2 streams, because I think trying to do it all in one would be a bit insane, but in 2, maybe we can do it. All that being said though, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, as Ryza continues to stare into my soul. See you guys later.